Facebook will finally stop reminding you to vote after tonight. I know we are all very excited about that, except for Justin, unfortunately, who caught a permaban from Facebook. So he gets to avoid getting all those election reminders early. But for the rest of it, no more ads on TV, no more reminders on social media, no more going into your mailbox and pulling out an armful of pamphlets that go right into the dumpster. No more of that after tonight. But for right now, we got an election to talk about. We got a doozy of a show for you guys tonight. I'm, of course, your host, Mr. Token, joined with Mr. Hobbs. We got Justin here from Thick Boog Line and Ben Backus, founder of the podcast. He's you can't see him. He's got a map up on the on his screen. But welcome everybody. Welcome to our
special.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
I dressed up for this, guys.
Oh, looking good, man.
Yeah, you're looking pretty dapper.
My beard's so epic, though, it covers the bow tie.
Absolutely good stuff here. All right, well, we got a hell of a show for you tonight. The polls are starting to close in a lot of places across the country. It's looking pretty close in a lot of swing states that we have our eyes on right now. Right now, a couple of surprises for me. Kansas is still showing blue. Texas is still showing blue. North Carolina is showing blue, but Michigan is showing red. So those are a few surprises for me so far. How you guys doing? Any thoughts on some of the results coming in, guys?
I was just talking about Ohio a few minutes ago. They were breaking down some of the counties up there, and Trump seemed to be tracking in unison with where he was in 2016. But in a lot of the counties, he was actually further ahead than he was in 2016. I can't think of the county that he was behind in. He was 2-1 with Hillary in 2016, and he's 3 Biden votes to 1 Trump vote tonight so far in Ohio. But other than that, Ohio's looking halfway decent for Trump, but he may not take it. Florida looks like he's about 160,000 plus down there from what I've been seeing on Twitter. I don't know.
Here's Florida right here. He's widening it even more. He's up by about 300,000 now.
Oh, is he really? Okay, great.
Yeah, a big thing that we are going to have to keep an eye on is Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has 9% reporting in right now. I'm looking at Associated Press election map right now. With 9% reporting in, 71% Biden, 24% Trump. That's one that Trump really needs to win. And Biden was polling around 4% higher than Trump in the aggregate polls going into tonight. 9% reporting in, not very much, but Jesus Christ, 70 to 25.
This map has 15% reporting in, and it's 700,000 to 350,000.
So quite the lead. And for those of us wondering, Joe Jorgensen is currently pulling in 1% of the vote with 430,000 nationwide. We're starting to get results from the middle of the country. No surprise. North, South Dakota went Trump. Nebraska went Trump. Colorado is trending Biden. Wyoming went to Trump. So no surprises there, except Kansas, which is still trending Biden right now, and Texas. Those are both. Oh, actually, it looks like Biden is up by 0.5 in Texas with almost 60% reporting in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not gonna last.
Oh, I mean, it's been Biden all night.
The primary areas for Biden, Dallas, Austin, and Houston have 82% reporting.
Yeah.
We also have to remember.
All right, so while we keep an eye on that, Justin,
with the mail-in voting and everything, we're probably not going to get an election called by the end of the night.
No, and I think we won't even have a real good idea by the end of the night. But it will start all the fun and games tonight. By tomorrow morning, the news is going to be going in. Like, we think we've seen shit over the past 4 years. Tomorrow is going to be the biggest news days ever in history.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. So Justin, let's talk about you for a second. You caught a permaban from Facebook here recently. It seems like a lot of people are catching that Zuck right now. Our Facebook page has been hovering around 11,000 for a few months now, because every time we get above the 11,000 mark, Zuck just takes away a couple hundred of our likes. And you looks like you caught a ban. Why did you get any explanation for that?
Yeah, well, and I'll go into that here in just a second. But for all the guys watching that don't know, last year I had a page, and I'm just going to call it TBL, and we had gotten up to close to 50,000 followers, and we're doing great on there. And we weren't getting throttled. We weren't seeing subscribers disappear. We weren't seeing followers and likes disappear. It just kept growing, and it would grow exponentially. And then, we got banned. That's understandable, I guess, to a certain point. We were a little bit on the fringe of what was acceptable for social media, although we did try to keep it kind of calm. So then I started a page called Bearded Liberty, which I still do have. I've got it on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you guys hadn't watched that, go check me out on YouTube at some point. But here recently, I've not been actually, since I started Bearded Liberty, I never posted anything that would even spark any attention to get banned. I didn't make posts. I didn't make personal posts. I didn't make anything in general. All I did was use it to post YouTube videos and to share you guys' podcast out. And just used it to give the community, an outlet to talk a little bit. I really paid attention to comments. I didn't let any crazy comments go through. Everything had to be approved before it was posted. So really, I wasn't doing anything. My personal Facebook page, I don't make political posts on. I'll post pictures of me and the kids and stuff like that. But that's about where that ended. So I think what it had to do with was they just cross-referenced my Facebook profile with the people I was friends with, the groups and the pages that I was part of. And they just decided that it's time to ban his entire IP. We're not going to let him get through with making another profile. So, I'm to the point now where I'm not even going to try. It's not worth even trying to get back on there. Twitter's been lit. It's a freaking great platform. Although they've been banning people today too, but it seems like we can get away with a little bit on there. But I'm over the shit posting for now, and really trying to focus on some of the real life stuff that's going on, like you guys do, and just gonna try to keep building my Bearded Liberty YouTube page up, and hopefully give you guys some competition one day.
Hey, do you think they cross-checked that Patriot Wave Discord leak?
I was not in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
still
here.
I've stayed off MeWe. I've stayed off whatever that Discord. I've stayed off Reddit. I'm not on any of those things. My IP's never logged into any of those.
It is kind of funny because you got in trouble, Hobbs, for being on that trouble, quote unquote, but you got attention for being on that Patriot Wave chat.
Yeah, I was
a
part of it, and
I think we
I'm perma-zucked from Discord now. I can't make a new profile or anything like that.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Did they figure out who their leak was? Because if you notice, if you look through the leaks, one of the things included in there was Iowa, but it wasn't. No other state was included. So obviously the person must have been from Iowa.
Yeah,
well, either that or they were using a VPN.
Yeah.
No, I mean they probably added them to the Iowa group because they said they were from Iowa. You know what I mean?
Oh.
They were in a bunch of the leaks were from Iowa Discord chats.
Huh. Y'all looked at the names that were in that, correct? Did y'all get all the where you could go to the threads and read them?
I looked through him for Hobbs to see where he popped up, and he never posted shit.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. But you can kind of cross. I've been talking with a couple people that were in that Discord, and you can kind of cross reference who was who. And there's only like 3 or 4 names that pop up that everybody didn't know. There were some names that popped up that some people knew, but everybody didn't know them. And I think that's where the red flag goes up, because we're at the point now after a year and a half of this shit that if you don't know who you're talking to, then obviously they're nobody. And I think you would agree with that, Hobbs.
Yeah. The Discord thing. I was talking to who was? I think I was talking to Jordan Squid, and he seems to think that after the P-Wave Discord got shut down, that the entire chat log was turned over to Unicorn Riot by Discord. That they're the ones that turned it over, because Unicorn Riot's a journalist collective, and they can so they've got some type of quote unquote official clout, and so Discord was like, yeah, here, have everything from that chat log.
Well, and I want to say, like, because I usually have a fuck something in every podcast we do, and tonight I want to just give it out to fuck Unicorn Riot. That was pretty shitty, because not only do they mess with people's family life, but they mess with people's jobs and stuff like that, and that's just something that I really take to heart, and you shouldn't do that unless, I mean, they really pinned some stuff on those guys that wasn't true. We know them personally, and we know when it's poking fun and when it's actually being serious, and a lot of the stuff that they put out there was just jokes that were going on.
Well, yeah, that's the whole modus operandi of all these people like Unicorn Riot, and the problem with the people and groups like them is that I'm sure that the people in the upper echelons of organizations like that are fully aware that these are just spicy jokes and spicy comments and whatnot, but the rank and file, the everyday plebeians out there doing the actual legwork and everything, are going to take a look at that, and they actually genuinely believe that we are racists, homophobes, fascists, blah, blah, blah. And compared to that, what's a little doxing, what's a little accessory to assault or arson or something? You're fighting fascism. You're fighting Nazis. This is justified, gosh darn it. And that's what they're taking to heart,
Yeah, it's just, oh, we and it has become a dead horse. It really has, because the whole liberty movement, they've just ruined it for everybody. The media has, they're making all liberty people just look like these terrible white supremacists. They started out with one group, and now they've just branched out and just grouped us all together, and they're getting their way. But hopefully by the end of tonight, everything turns red and they don't get their way.
Yeah, we're gonna see a shit show to end all shit shows if that happens. Like, I'm looking at the senatorial races right now, and this is really where I think Republicans should be focused right now. Because let's be completely realistic here. If Republicans don't win the Senate, it doesn't matter what happens in the presidential race. If they lose the Senate, Trump gets impeached on January 21st. That's what's going to happen if Republicans lose the Senate. So I don't understand why Republicans are so hyper-focused on this presidential race, where that race doesn't even matter if they lose the Senate.
Yeah, as long as they get the Senate, they can get their way.
Yeah, I mean,
have a good chance of getting their way.
But see, think about this: if Republicans hold the Senate, there's no court packing going to happen. There's going to be no addition of states. Right? They're not going to get rid of the Senate filibuster if they do that. So you hold the Senate, and you still have a decent balance of power.
Well, I thought the Senate filibuster is already gone. I thought the Democrats set the precedent for getting rid of that.
Well, the filibuster is gone, or the filibuster is still there. It's the super majority required.
It's the judicial filibuster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. They still have the filibuster, but they made selecting like judges a up and down majority vote.
Well, you were talking, if you look at the tab there, here's the important Senate vote, and don't like this guy anyways. But Lindsey Graham is starting to pull away.
Mhm.
Yeah, effeminate Lindsey Graham over there.
Yeah, you probably can't read this unless I blew it up. But Lindsey Graham's at 54. Jamie Harrison's at 44
See,
with 500,000 votes and 25% of the votes.
I've been
Well, and I thought about that today. I'm not a big fan of Lindsey Graham, but it's kind of that's.
I wish a
the best
decent
of two
Republican
evils
could
there.
primary him.
Oh, I
Yeah.
wish. But the South Carolina, they like Lindsey Graham and all that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many Middle Eastern countries he wants to bomb. It doesn't matter how many wars he wants to get into. He's owning the libs right now. So that's all people want. That's why Ben Sass took such a big hit here in Nebraska, is because he said mean things about Trump. Right.
Yeah.
And that's the Republican Party right now. You say mean things about Trump, no matter how true they may be. I mean, what did Ben Sass say? That he's egotistical? Yeah, we all know that Trump is egotistical, but
Well, here's the problem.
Here's the problem
I had with it from the outside. He kissed Trump's ass, and then he turns around and says shit about him.
He kind of didn't, though. Sass has always been a never Trumper. I mean, that's not a surprise.
No.
He's always been like that. Now he after the primaries, he'd be
Yes.
like, "Fuck it, okay, Trump." Because Republicans
during the primary,
Trump. That doesn't mean that he's not allowed to talk shit about Trump if he wants to, right? And it doesn't mean that what he says isn't true. Because when he calls Trump an egotist, I mean, what even the most ardent Trump supporter can admit that that's true.
But during this
Trump
primary,
loves
he was on
Trump.
the Trump train. He jumped on the Trump train to get through the primary. And then as soon as the primary is over, he's like, "Oh yeah, well, I don't like Trump."
Yeah, but,
Well, I mean, but you gotta take into account. Look at the majority of us that are on here right now. Look at us last year. We would have never thought about voting for Trump.
Oh, I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't even consider voting for Trump.
Watching tonight, probably still didn't vote for Trump.
But
I don't know.
What I wanted to bring up, though, was I've been looking at all the senatorial races around the country, and most of them has a Libertarian or Constitutional Green Party candidate in it. But our very own Gene Sidek, who's going to come on the show later on, he looks to have the most percentage points of any third-party senatorial candidate in the country, sitting at 6.2%.
Yeah, and all the sites are leaving him off. They're putting in the write-ins for that goober for the Democrats, but they're leaving Gene off at 6%.
Yeah, he's almost at 10%, and that's more than any other senatorial candidate that the LP has in the entire country right now. Gene, the former treasurer for the Libertarian Party of Nebraska, a personal friend of most of ours, a great dude, and he's pulling in 6%. Barely did any campaigning too. That's the big thing about it. It's not like he had big money behind him. It's not like he had this huge campaign that he was running. No, it's just it's just a lot of people who are pissed off at Ben Sass, and they're voting for Gene as a protest.
I'm currently sitting at 3.5.
But you know what?
Gee, that's freaking awesome, man.
Oh, you're sitting at 3.5?
Mhm.
Future Congressman Dustin Hobbs over here. Hey, if you get elected, what jobs are me and Ben gonna get?
See, I already promised.
I am
friend-
expecting bags of cash.
Okay, yeah. So I already promised that if he beats the living shit out of the guy that takes over from him at night, that he can be my chief of staff. So because he'll get fired. So, Nathan, you want bags of cash, so I think that I will have you be my lobbyist liaison. I think that's big bags of cash.
I can promise you right now, I will not leave my laptops at the laptop repair shops. So you don't have to worry about that for me.
Can I run security for you at least?
Say what?
Can I run security for you at least?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. Texas, more votes in. Even money now.
Even money.
Here we go. 49.3 to 49.3.
Ooh.
So the libertarian that's going to get 1 or 2% is going to get a lot of blame.
Oh,
Oh my! The map I'm looking at has Trump ahead by 0.1.
Oh, he just pulled ahead. Yep.
Oh,
49.
there
boy.
it is. Let's see. Yeah, Joe's got 1% in Texas. So
Biden
Well, you know-
losing Florida right off the bat was a kick in the teeth for him.
bringing up Joe, can I talk on that for a minute, or would that be out of line on y'all's channel?
no, go ahead. Say
Oh.
your piece.
Well, because I've got some friends over here in the chat. That I'm happy to know them, and I'm glad they voted for Joe. They went with their heart and they did what they wanted to, and that's where I was a year ago. But when I say Joe, guys, I'm talking about Joe Jorgensen, not Joe Biden. That's where I was last year, and I really like the idea of the stuff. But the more I looked into it, and we're so used to the open-ended promises from the left and the right, and then we started getting the pandering going on in the Libertarian Party too. Me and Hobbs were talking earlier, and it's kind of like it was about me and you in the beginning, and now it's like, who can I appeal to and who can I get the vote for? And even 3 months ago, when I was still very upset with the Libertarian Party, I was still under the impression that if somebody could just reach out and say, hey, we're not going to be able to abolish the ATF right away, but what you should say in your campaign is, look, I know I'm not going to get elected because it's almost impossible right now, but what I can do is we can gain supporters, we can get ideas, and we can work towards something that will gain us more supporters next time. But no, it went mainstream. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I think that the Libertarian vote this election is going to be less than what it was the previous election, and on that account right there.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's going to be on that account. I think it's going to be more on the fact that last time around we had 2 former governors on the ticket, and this time around we don't. Right? Last time around we had a very popular former governor of New Mexico and a Hillary Clinton lapdog in Bill Weld running on the ticket. And you know what? I like Jerry Johnson, but he wasn't a very effective communicator. And unfortunately, I don't think Joe Jorgensen has been a very effective communicator either. I mean, during the primaries, I commented on this, that she was very forgettable. She didn't grab your attention the way I think that a third party candidate needs to. Now, on Spike Cohen, I think Spike Cohen's great. Problem with Spike Cohen is he has even less recognition than Joe Jorgensen.
I know. I don't get it. I liked her better in the beginning, but I like him better in the end.
Spike is a fantastic communicator.
Yeah, you were in the Spike Haters Club. I remember that.
Yeah, but I'm good with him now. And I've spoken with Joe on y'all's podcast where I felt like I got received well and got some good feedback. But I've also spoken with her in person twice since then, and both of them have put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, and I think
I've met Joe a couple times, and go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I think you can probably chalk that up to the fact that when you and the other boys were on and we interviewed her, it was kind of an ambush. I think in retrospect, because I think that she was coming in. There was a bit of a miscommunication between me and her campaign manager, communications director, whoever the hell it was that I talked to. I think that she was expecting to come into it with the this is just going to be another libertarian podcast with the same old blah 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 questions, and then it's like bam, boogaloo. And to her credit, she did a pretty good job of answering questions and saying the things that we wanted to hear. And then after that was the fallout. And I have a feeling that some fucking nonce with a poli-sci degree told her, like, hey, you got to distance yourself from these guys because the Guardian wrote a hit piece on you.
Yep.
I know.
And instead of saying, go fuck yourself.
I knew exactly who it was.
Jason from the Guardian.
No, the person in her campaign telling her no, this is very bad. I know exactly who it was. Is Jackie Perry. She helps run her social media, and she fucking hates me personally.
I sent Hobbs the video of me speaking with her 2 weeks ago, asking her a question, and she gave a 4-minute response to everybody else that asked a question. She gave me a 1-sentence response, which was, I asked her, I said, how can we fight back with mainstream media and social media and what they're doing to silence us and how they're portraying us in the media? And her response was, quit giving them your money, quit going on their pages. She didn't give a very thought out answer in my opinion. And then her post yesterday, was that yesterday that she made that post? She just like quantified that, if that's the right word, which I think she lost some votes on that too. And it upsets me, but I mean, that is the libertarian point of view and she's sticking to it. But, not every political party has 100% perfect point of views.
Jim asks, "How can anybody hate Token?" I don't know. I'm such a lovable guy.
That's why Antifa isn't after you. They're
because they love me.
Yeah.
I gotta be less lovable.
I'll say this about the libertarians I saw that were drawn into the party with Joe versus Gary Johnson, and I hate to say it, but they're actual real libertarians. The Gary Johnson, Bill Weld types, as soon as that election was over, they were out the door.
Oh, Bill Weld was bragging about voting for Joe Biden. I'm like, big shocker there. Bill Weld voted for Joe Biden in Massachusetts, where it doesn't even matter.
I don't expect an exodus after this election of Libertarian Party members.
I'm willing to bet that Bill Weld voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016.
Well, he did.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. He didn't even vote for himself on his own ticket.
That guy is a fucking jackass.
All right, I think
we got some more results.
We're probably gonna have Gene Sidek on pretty soon. He's supposed to show up on 8:30. But Justin, why don't you plug some of your stuff and give us your final word before we say goodbye?
Yeah, guys, go over. Like and subscribe Bearded Liberty on YouTube. No worries with the Instagram because I don't get on there. And then go check out, I've got a pretty decent shirt over at SpartanofLiberty.com. Go pick that up. But just help me out. Go over to Bearded Liberty on YouTube and subscribe. And that way I can get in contact with some of you guys because I'm disconnected from everybody now. But I really appreciate you guys having me on tonight, and good luck with the rest of the show. I'll be watching, and if something happens and somebody gets cut short, feel free to shout at me and bring me back on. I'll be here.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for coming on, man.
Did you see that over here? Biden is ahead overall in Nebraska, but that's just because he's going to win Omaha.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Justin.
And I guess Trump 2020.
See ya.
There you go.
All right, we're waiting on Gene Sidek, who's going to come on to the show pretty soon. He was scheduled to...
You shot him the link?
No, you were supposed to shoot him the link. You got the link.
Oh, good grief. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot him over the link, Mr. Producer Ben. That's what we pay you for, to shoot the links.
Damn it.
Now, Gene was sitting at 6.1% a second ago. He's now at 6.2%.
Let me bring that up here. Where are we at?
He has almost 15,000 votes, which I would like to point out is higher than the total number of registered libertarians in the state of Nebraska. So I'm just going to
flex. I'm the all-time vote leader in Nebraska.
Well, I mean, with that beard.
I ran in a 2-person race for statewide, though.
I mean, that's still pretty fantastic. Let me look at the presidential results in Nebraska and see how we're doing. So Donald at 49, but Joe at 48. That's pretty close. And Joe's sitting at 2% right now, which okay. I mean, that's fine, but you're not gonna get to 5% with that kind of thing.
No, I don't. I don't think it'll get. We're not even gonna get close to 5%.
No, and that's the thing with all these every 4 years. Every 4 years, I get my hopes up that this is the year the Libertarian Party does a breakout. And the last two elections we got more than previous elections, but I don't think you could really call 2016 a breakout year for the Libertarian
Were
Party.
you the one that asked me? I think you said we're going to get more total votes but less percentage.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
I could agree that'll probably happen. I think we're going to have more total.
It might, and that's the real question here. Do you consider it a win if we have more total votes but less percentage points?
And I don't think so. I think everything's about percentages.
And I think that too. Nobody remembers total number of votes. Like I couldn't remember how many total votes Gary Johnson got 4 years ago, but I can tell you he got 3%.
Oh, more votes in from Texas. It narrowed up a little bit. 49.4, 49.3.
Oh my God. Can you believe Texas, of all places, is so close? And Kansas, Joe Biden.
Let me find Kansas here. Hold on.
It's sitting at 49.7 to 40. Oh no, yeah, to 48.3. So a full percentage point.
New votes in here. Biden at 50.4, Trump at 47.7.
Yeah, craziness.
Well, but look who's reporting in. You're missing a large. I mean, nobody lives over here, but they haven't reported in yet.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the votes from all the cows out in western Kansas. So I mean,
let's see. What was that other one? Ohio. What's Ohio up to? It's getting a little closer. I don't think. What are you going to say?
A little
Ohio.
That is a lot closer than it was just 10 minutes ago.
Doesn't Ohio usually go blue? I don't remember.
Ohio has gone red quite a few times. Ohio is one of the It's kind of funny if you see enough presidential elections, the key swing state changes so often.
Michigan is weird.
Michigan's going to Trump right now. I mean, Detroit looks to be the only Democratic stronghold in the state.
No, Detroit is Trump right now.
No, I'm looking at Detroit as blue. Maybe we're looking at different maps.
I'm on the New York Times map. What are your numbers showing for Detroit?
The map I'm on is the Associated Press, and it doesn't show percentage points by county. It just shades it blue or red. And
this shows the 3 counties of Detroit, and they're all Trump.
Okay,
3% of the votes are in those. So I mean, that's not very many votes.
No, not really. Let's see. Joe Jorgensen's at 1.4. Howie Hawkins is at 0.3. It does give me a perverse sense of pleasure knowing that we at least beat up on the poor Green Party every single year. I know that shouldn't mean anything to me.
Beat up on the Green Party.
I know that shouldn't mean anything to me because the Green Party doesn't exist in half the country, but it does bring a little bit of a smile to my face, seeing that the Green Party isn't really a thing.
Boy, North Carolina went Biden. Looks like it's going to go Biden.
Yeah,
that's bizarre.
Looking like it. And here's the thing. Not really. North Carolina has been a toss-up for well, yeah, but North Carolina has been a toss-up state forever. The only swing state, well, we don't have any results from Iowa and no results from Arizona yet. Now, Arizona is not surprising because that's when you start getting into the mountain time zone.
They close in half an hour.
Yeah, so I wouldn't expect to get anything from Arizona yet. But Iowa, why don't we have any results from Iowa yet?
Because
Nebraska's already called.
Iowa closes late. They're closing. They're not closing for another half hour yet for some reason.
Yeah, and also remember when they did the Democrat primary, they couldn't even. So they're probably still trying to, figuring out like their fingers and toes, counting on those.
Wisconsin is going red currently.
Now, see, that's a surprise. I would have You see, when I was doing my predictions, I gave Trump Ohio, I gave Trump Pennsylvania, but I gave Biden Michigan and Wisconsin. and that's completely flipped right now. I mean, it's 18% reporting, not that much in Wisconsin, and 19% reporting in Michigan, but still, I mean, a lot of times you'll look like, oh, like there's only a little bit percent reporting in.
Whoa, we don't have Gene, but we have Mike Knable popping in.
All right, let's bring in Mike. Let's bring in
Mike,
co-founder of the Road to Liberty podcast, and hopefully future city councilman in Bellevue, Mr. Mike Knable. What are you drinking, Mike? What do you got there?
It is an old fashioned because I am an old man, much like Ben now, and so this is what we drink.
That's a nice fade you got there.
Thanks.
I like you cut, G.
It's a home quarantine fade. You know, I still haven't. I got used to cutting it myself during the quarantine. I figured, why stop now? You know.
You did your own fade?
Yeah. I'm a jack of all trades. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. I was gonna say, you know, if that's what you can do to yourself, I think if you don't win the city council thing, you got a career as a barber lined up, man. That's looking pretty sharp.
Well, I'm seeing some of the totals come in, and it looks like we might be under Democratic control soon. So it's going to be a black market barber shop in my basement. You guys are all welcome.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. Well, I want to know though how it looked the first time you tried that, though.
Not great.
Practice.
I mean,
perfect,
I guess just
right?
imagine what you think it would look like.
Well, you know
That's
what the
pretty much
difference
how it
between a
came
good haircut and a bad haircut is, right?
What's that?
About 2 weeks.
Well, you are running for city council in Bellevue right now. Have any results come in for that race yet?
So the 8:00 results came in. They're not looking great. I'm waiting for the 8:45 stuff to come through. So I'm definitely gonna be hanging with you guys on through 8:45 here. But right now it's like 60, 32, something like that. It's not. It's disappointing with where I'm at right now, basically. But I don't know. I'm looking at the Sarpy County results overall, and Kate Bowles is winning in that race. Sarpy County is also going to Biden Harris at the moment.
Fine.
So
I'm looking at the Associated Press.
I don't know. Sarpy County is going to the darkest timeline at the moment, looking at these numbers. So I'm hoping the 8:45 ones are a little bit better.
Hey, let's throw a hypothetical out here about the presidential election. What happens? Like, what kind of absolute face melting hypocrisy is going to go on if Trump wins the popular vote, but Biden wins the electoral college? What's going to happen?
Aren't there some countries that or some states that pass a pact? They have to vote for the popular winner.
I think that there was a number of state threshold before that kicked in. There was kind of a fail-safe that they wrote into their compact that if a certain number of states didn't sign on to the compact, and the compact was null and void, and they didn't reach that threshold, specifically because somebody came by and said, hey, if Trump wins the popular vote next time, y'all are going to be fucked.
Update. Associated Press just flipped Ohio to Trump. So that's interesting.
That's kind of bad news for Biden.
That's a thing. That's a thing that just happened. Well, that's fun. I mean, I'm looking at Nebraska right now, and Trump has a 3 percentage point lead. And according to the map I'm looking at, Trump is winning Sarpy, Biden is winning Douglas and Lancaster. And out west, where there's more cows than people, Trump is winning by substantial numbers right now. That includes where you live, Hobbs. Don't at me right now.
Yep.
All right, so I'm on the official Sarpy County election
Well, that would be
page here,
accurate.
and it's got Biden Harris at 30,000, Trump at 25,000.
Can we talk for a second about what the likely results of Biden winning the presidency? Let's be completely honest here. The absolute worst thing about Biden winning the presidency is the fact that we're going to have to listen to Kamala Harris after the next 4 years.
He's not going to be president for more than 6 months.
Yeah, how
We
long
all
will it
know
take
that,
Nancy
right?
Pelosi to get him kicked out of there? She already tried setting that up.
Yeah.
It'll take like a week.
Who do you think they have tagged for the VP for Kamala if Biden wins?
Oh, someone pliable and senile that they can control. Like, oh
And
yeah,
all-
this is a lovable loser. Let's just put him in there.
Also, someone in China's back pocket.
I don't know. You don't think they got to check their privilege points for who they put in there?
Yeah. So, yeah, she's a strong woman of color.
Yeah, they'll have two. I think they'll do two strong women of color.
Either that
I'm
or
sorry,
it'll
Hobbs.
be Pete Buttigieg.
I'm,
So they can get the gay card in there too.
Well,
What
what
about-
Trump's what? Doesn't being a POC Trump being gay?
I don't know, man. The progressive stack is constantly shuffling. I know that it changes from day to day. There was something that happened overseas in Europe. I think it was in Germany, where
Hobbs broke up.
oh no.
Start
Oh,
over.
no.
There was something in Germany and what?
I said that the progressive stack is constantly shifting. Like just the other day, I read a story about how a Muslim refugee was deported because during his kind of like probationary period, he expressed a lot of hyper misogynistic views. So I guess that
you mean Muslim views?
yeah, pretty much. So on that particular day, women were higher up on the progressive stack than refugees from the Middle East, and that's subject to change day to day. And it doesn't matter where you're at, whether you're in Europe or here in the United States. It like takes a PhD level of like microanalysis to try and figure out exactly what the left is prioritizing from minute to minute.
So somebody said Stacey Abrams. I think that's probably about right.
And you
That's
know
scary.
what?
her
if
laugh
her-
is more tolerable than Kamala Harris's.
If Stacey Abrams' gubernatorial race is anything, even if she isn't selected for VP, she'll still claim to be.
So back to your question. I mean, what does that presidency probably look like? What is it? The first 60 days when they really try and tear shit up,
Well, it depends on what happens with the Senate, and we all know that,
right?
But
Yeah, the Senate's the race that people really need to keep an
To-
eye on right now. Because if Republicans look me in the eye, it doesn't matter if you win the White House if you lose the Senate, because Trump will be impeached January 21st, and he will be gone, and then they'll impeach Pence, and Nancy Pelosi will be president.
Speaking
That's
of
what you got to look
speaking
forward
of
to if you don't win the Senate.
speaking of real talk with Republicans, do we want to? Stephen Bader of the RLC was going to pop in here. We want to get some deep state GOP off of him.
Oh, sure. We can only have 4 on at a time.
I can pop. That's just video. I could pop down to audio. You want to stick around and talk with Stephen?
yeah, I want to hear what he has to say about the empty suit Ben Sass.
I shot him the link. We'll see when he pops in. I'll drop him in here when he pops in. He's at I'm sure he's at some swanky GOP election party tonight.
A super spreader event, as they're calling it.
They're spreading something. Who knows what
Lord.
goes on at those events?
Some
So Ben,
serious
are you winning your
bro
race right
shit.
now, Ben? I know that you're unopposed, but
I hope so. There could be some write-ins. I hope people don't get confused and write in Preston Love for my race. That's a Nebraska only joke for people.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, Nebraska had a Democrat candidate who turned out to be kind of rapey. So
Turned out to be kind of rapey.
So the Democrats quit supporting him. They were telling people to write in their candidate, Preston Love.
Since when does a Democrat being kind of rapey means they have to stop supporting him?
I mean, it hasn't stopped him in the presidential race, so I don't know why.
it hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Biden is more than kind of rapey, and they're still voting for him.
Isn't that what his deal was? Or no, he, I don't know. He was kind of creepy, I guess.
Kind of rapey.
Yeah, he got
creepy.
accused. Oh God, what was her name?
Telling a staffer she needed to get laid and then send her some text or something, but he's gay, so I don't know what that's about.
And this is the best that the Democrat Party has to offer in Nebraska.
That and our good friend Mark Elworth.
And they still say the libertarians are the crazy party in this state.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
shit.
some reason, Mark Elworth is beating me. You know, he did a lot more campaigning than I did, and he is running on a major party platform. But I mean, come on.
It looks like we got a Mike Knable fan in the chat over here. What a
Yep. I have my own fan club. Which you guys don't know. I left the podcast, but I gained a new fan club.
Man, we need to bring you back to gain all those fans. I'm kind of upset though that we never got the race between you and Carol Blood and Soil that I was so looking forward to. Whatever happened to that?
I thought city council was going to be a better deal, and so I'm going to tell you guys, as much as I dislike Carol Blood, like all of the GOP attack ads I've been getting over the last 2 months were almost pushing me to either writing in something or just voting her out of spite, because it has been ridiculous. The last one I got was about Carol Blood hates Nebraska football, and her opponent would vote to protect Big Ten football in the state and make sure that they would play in spite of COVID.
Well, there you go. That's it.
That's a good angle to
over.
work in Nebraska.
See, all her opponent had to do was. I'm sorry, Hobbs. I keep hearing you like 3 seconds after you start talking. So you talk, and
He's a little lagging.
I realize after the fact that I interrupted you, and I feel bad, but then I forget to look for your mouth moving.
Well, that wouldn't work either because he's lagging. You can't see his mouth moving anyways.
Yeah, that's weird.
Fucking weird. But all her opponent had to do was dress up as the Tiger King and go, "That goddamn bitch, Carol Blood." He would have won on that alone. But you know what? No one ever accused Republicans of being very smart or meme savvy, so I guess you can't blame them for missing that opportunity.
I am going to ask Stephen Bader when he jumps on why they didn't go with the Carol Blood and Soil for their attack ads.
Yeah, I sent him the message. He hasn't seen it yet. Told him 8:45. So
I mean, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
They probably got some Bohemian Grove stuff going on. They gotta burn their effigy real quick.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on at those Republican parties. I mean, we all saw 4 years ago what happens at Democratic celebration parties. You remember that 4 years ago when Hillary Clinton had that gigantic stage in the shape of the U.S. and then didn't come out. Yeah, she didn't come out to address her followers because she was so upset that she lost to Donald fucking Trump. Like, man, you can't at least come out and talk to people like, sorry, I lost it for you. I'm kind of an asshole. Look, they flipped Kansas, so I mean that's a thing.
Yeah, let's see what this.
Wait, they flipped Kansas to what? Where are we at here? I'm not.
It was blue. Now it's red. Well, according to the AP, that's the map I'm looking at.
So have you guys seen the shenanigans that Virginia?
Shenanigans at what?
In Virginia, Ben, if you go over to the Think Liberty group chat, it says that Joe Biden has received 43.4% of the vote. Donald Trump has received 54.9%, but they're calling Joe Biden the winner.
That's interesting.
I was literally just looking at that. I'm like, my eyebrow just rose a little bit. Like, wait a minute, that's not right.
Yep.
Donald Trump's up by 10 points, and they're calling it for Joe Biden. I don't understand. There must be some secret squirrel shit going on in Virginia right now. I mean, that's where DC is, right? So maybe the FBI and the NSA, they're all pulling their resources to put a little check mark on Joe Biden's name right now.
Yeah, in a rare instance of a blind squirrel finding a nut, our buddy Arvin Vora said that when you accidentally release the results of a rigged election early,
that's what it's looking like right now. And don't hold your breath, but do you remember how Joe Biden was up by like 20 percentage points in Pennsylvania like 10 minutes ago?
Mm-hmm.
It's down to 5% now, with 18% reporting in. So that's a good little object lesson for people like me who like to look at the 1% reporting in and be like, it's done, over, election over.
Well, CNN's already called it for Biden. I mean, they called that, what, was like 4 months ago? So I don't even know why they're reporting on anything tonight.
Yeah, here's Kansas, like you said, 5%.
Oh, they're calling
5% Trump now.
Yeah, but Trump's up by quite a bit. I mean, I wasn't expecting Biden to win Kansas, but it was kind of funny.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Blue.
And here's that Virginia you were talking about. I don't know if people can see that. It's called Virginia, but Trump's ahead by 15 percentage points with 45% of the results.
It's super weird.
yeah.
This is a weird election, man. This is a very weird election.
I think this is all going to hinge on Pennsylvania.
No, it is. And Joe Jorgensen is she's at 1.1% now. She was at 1%. Now she's at 1.1%. So
we're the 1%.
We are the 1%.
It's that elite class right there.
Absolutely. And Howie Hawkins is at 0.2%. Big smile to my face. Yes, we're beating up the Green Party. Fuck you, Green Party.
Bunch of watermelon communists. Green on the outside, red on the inside.
Absolutely. You know what? I am kind of upset, Hobbs. I don't know why it is that you keep getting all the fucking attention from all these goddamn people, and I can't get a single mention from any of them. You would think Antifa would hate me more, but no, it's you, Mr. Dustin Hobbs, down in Grand Island. Like, Jesus.
I'm running for office. I'm a privileged white male. You at least have the shield.
I think he might be
onto
onto something. They don't know if they can pierce through his privilege to criticize him.
I got male privilege. That's the thing, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I got male, straight,
Sure, why
cisgender privilege. And you know, I
yeah, and you're in a marriage, and you've got 2 kids, so you're at replacement level. You monster. You monster.
Fuck me. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I am contributing to climate change and destroying the world right now.
What happened to Mike? We lost him.
Oh no, he's back. Mike's fantastic self fade is back on screen.
Hold on, what's this person? I live in Topeka, Kansas. There was a man shot and wounded 3 teenagers on a Halloween night because he thought they were taking his Trump signs. Oof.
The fuck? Let them take your Trump signs. It's a sign.
Dang.
The election will be over in like a few days.
I'm sorry, Lindsay Patron, but Kansas was one of those places I don't really have any desire to.
In Kansas?
There's even less there than there is in this
It seems like
state.
Kansas is like if you took the middle part of Nebraska and you just created a whole state of it.
You just copy pasted it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. At least Nebraska has some variation.
All right. So when we see the unfollow after this cast, we're going to know it's her. So.
Well, no, that's what it is. I remember Nebraska. You can drive east to western Nebraska and you'll see some variation in how things look, right? I mean, it's pretty hilly when you're near the Missouri River. It gets really flat. You got the sand hills. You got some variety. Kansas, it's all grass and cows. like the entire state. There's no variation
And sunflower.
whatsoever. And sunflowers. It's all the same thing. Like you take all the boring parts of Nebraska, copy paste it to our south. That's what Kansas is.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my family, we used to travel kind of all over the place, going to competitive shotgun sports, trap shooting. And Kansas was always the absolute worst drive. No matter, like, if we were going to Missouri and we only had to go through like a tiny little sliver of Kansas, it felt like it took all fucking day to get through Kansas.
I mean, I feel
And you know, it's like, God forbid if we ever had to actually do a shoot in Kansas. It's like, oh God, we're going to be here for a couple of days. It's like, how do you people live out here? There's nothing. There's literally nothing. There's not even trees.
I like your analogy. I think maybe their motto should be "Where God cut and pasted."
yes, I feel like the way we think about Kansas is the same way Iowa thinks about us.
Iowa has no room to talk, do they?
Yeah.
They don't have-
No, they don't. They
You've
don't
been to
have any
Council
room to
Bluffs. They've
talk.
got no room to talk about anything.
No, they don't, but they think they do. That's the thing about it. Like, no, they don't have any room to talk, but you know, they're like the snobs of the Great Plains.
Iowa's that guy that's an idiot and doesn't even know it. They're just
And he's hanging out in a room of other idiots, and they're all like equally stupid, except for Kansas, who's slightly worse. But the Iowa's like, I'm a genius. Ugh.
I don't ever hear from any. What do they call them? Iowans on this side of the state.
I don't
have
know.
to deal with-
Iowegians.
I have to deal with Wyoming and Colorado, and they're pretty chill, especially
Mike,
Colorado.
Mike, I gotta say, Mike, every time you take a drink, I hear your ice in your cup rattle, and it's driving me off the wall.
Do it.
Absolutely love it. I gotta say, Mike, don't listen to Nathan. It sounds classy.
That's what I've been
as
going
fuck.
for.
Mike has never listened to me. What
There
the fuck are you talking about?
That was my whole campaign slogan, Hobbs.
Classy as fuck.
Yeah.
Just a picture of you sipping from a.
You needed to cut a YouTube ab and just have you with the glass go jiggle 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 jiggle. And like that's it. That's my pitch.
I will say though, Mike, I think
But
Hobbs, you cut out, man.
sorry, I was gonna say that probably a good 10 to 15% to add on to your election total would have been had if you had like kept the Ned Flanders look from a while back. That would Hi diddly how vote for me.
I wonder if people would trust me with a mustache. Yeah, I that's what I should have done, is door to door with a mustache like that.
I mean, just look at Ben with his
Well,
fantastic
it
facial hair.
depends on the mustache.
This is true.
It depends on the mustache. You know, if you've got like the Ned Flanders mustache or the Nick Offerman, Ron Swanson mustache, that's an authority mustache. That's a mustache that says I can get things done. But if you've got like the little like pencil pedo mustache, it's like stay away from my kid's mustache.
Dude, I don't see pencil. Do people do pencil mustaches still?
Oh, guys, I got to give you guys an update. Pennsylvania just got shaded red, 48.6% Trump, 48.3% Biden.
If that happens,
They just
that's
shaded
done.
Pennsylvania red, guys.
Ooh,
Everybody
oh,
freak out. Everybody go watch the Young Turks live stream right now.
He did retake the lead in Ohio, though.
He did. No. Well, maybe you saw a more recent update than me, but right now I'm sitting at 75% reporting, 50.8% Trump, 47.9% Biden.
Okay, mine's at 70%. So
Oh, so
apparently AP's ahead of New York Times.
I got a more recent update, and guys, what I'm looking at Associated Press map right now. Trump has the lead in Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Florida, and Texas. As far as swing states go, Biden's got the lead in North Carolina and Minnesota.
Well, guys, we got
It looks like Trump's going to take the Rust Belt
we got
again.
a Sarpy County update here for you.
Uh-oh.
So it looks like I'm not going to be the newest councilman.
Riot! Riot! All for it.
Yeah.
I blame Antifa and being associated with Hobbs. That's the whole reason.
Luke White here calls it the I think he means Charlie
Chopin
Chaplin,
mustache?
but that's not what it is. We know what you're talking
The
about.
Chaplin. Yeah,
I mean, if we count Virginia as
I
a
did not
swing state,
see that coming.
What are your votes you're seeing on North Carolina, Nathan? This one shows Biden's ahead.
well, no, this one has Biden ahead too, 49.5 to 49.3.
Okay, that's what I see.
And Joe Jorgensen at 0.8, making up that difference. And then Howie Hawkins, Howie Hawkins, 0.2. Ah! I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't care.
Howie.
And
How are
Don
ya?
Constitution Party, Don Blankenship at 0.1. So
I'm impressed with how some of these states have their shit together so much better than others.
I mean,
Like Ohio, 69%.
nice. I mean, I remember I was in Florida. I lived in Florida for the 2000 election, and I don't think Florida has ever lived that election down.
The hanging Chad election.
Yeah, that one. I mean, the only reason it's kind of living it down now is because millennials are too young to remember it. Most millennials. I'm old enough to remember it. But
Well, I mean, Trump's not out of the water here. I mean, you still got the whole leftist coast. That's a lot of votes.
well, yeah, absolutely. Oh, we got some results from Arizona finally. It looks like Biden's winning 53.8 to 45. How do we already have 48% reporting?
In Arizona?
Yeah, that must be they
Do
must
they have
have
that many early votes?
They must have counted the mail-in and early votes already.
That's impressive.
And they just closed. Yeah, I mean, that would be amazing. 48% early voters. That would be a hell of a thing. I wouldn't expect that. But I mean, let's be completely honest here. I don't understand why people wait till election day to vote. I've never voted on election day.
I voted 4 times
I
this
do.
last week.
You still didn't win. What the hell?
I know.
Yeah, what's the matter with you? If you're gonna rig an election, at least win. Libertarians can't even rig an election correctly.
That's why he's got the fade. He changes his haircut with every pile of votes he was bringing in.
That's why I shaved the Ned Flanders
Yep.
mustache. That was the first time I voted.
puts on some sunglasses. I'm a different person now, guys.
Sunglasses with mustache was the next
Yeah,
one. There, glass.
Yeah. You plus you can't engage in voter fraud with the Ned Flanders mustache. That's an honest mustache.
Idly ho, I'm here to cast my vote.
So I'm looking at the Senate races. I'm looking at the Senate races right now, and I'm looking at North Carolina, and the Republican and Democrats both have the same exact percentage right now. They're both sitting at 47.9%, and the Libertarian at 3. You know what that means? You know what that means? That means we're going to get blamed.
We're gonna be blamed.
Yes.
So
And,
so I'm sure that it has to exist. It has to exist somewhere in the Constitution that in the event that two parties come up with an exact tie, they have to duel to the death. I know it has to be in there somewhere. God help me.
I think it's the 32nd Amendment. I think I saw that one.
I mean,
So
I
in
would
my
like
races
to-
update, we've got. Go ahead. I'm just looking at my thing here. I'm currently 0.47% with 3,006 votes.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
You know that Antifa hit piece really did in your campaign.
Yeah, that October surprise.
Like, oh, guys, turns out that Hobbs is a fascist. Can't vote for him now.
Eh.
You
He
know,
held a gun while in a plate carrier. He's obviously a bad guy.
cannot trust this man. Boo this man. Boo.
Yeah, the worst thing I think that they did was they had a picture from like way back when I had a Confederate flag on my my helmet that I haven't had on there for like 3 years or whatever. I picked it up when I was still living down in Georgia. So, maybe that's one thing they can ding on me, but there's such a thing called nuance. You can
I wouldn't even ding
admire the
that.
Confederacy for their Yeah, it's like you could admire the Confederacy for their opposition to federal authority while still, dinging them for the reasons that they did it. This all or nothing, like black and white, binary politics is like garbage.
So, guys, did
Horseshit.
you see that with the latest update, Kate Bowles has taken an even bigger lead over Fortenberry now? District 2 might go blue.
Whoa, that I wouldn't expect to happen. Oh boy. Oh yeah, I'm
But
looking
if we
at
lose
that.
Fortenberry, then who will give Adrian Smith his marching orders?
Where? Let me see. Where's that at? How's Don Bacon doing?
That's because he knows it's true.
Bacon had a competition with Eastman. Come on now.
Yeah.
See, I don't understand why you would nominate the same person from 2 years ago.
And a
That's
communist.
how
They
smart.
did?
Yeah, they are.
They didn't win last time, but this time, maybe? Like, come on. Really? Did you really think it would change? Come on.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they didn't like communism last time. Let's try it again.
I mean, Mr. Boring Fortenberry getting kicked out of Congress, that's exactly what that man deserves anyway. Fortin boring, am I right?
Somebody
Oh!
surprised we didn't get. Somebody surprised we didn't get sucked. No, we're FBI informants. Of course not.
Yeah, of course we wouldn't get kicked off of Facebook. How else will they find all the people that need to get kicked off of Facebook?
So you think our page is like a honeypot for the FBI?
It's got to be what it is. How else do you explain? Like,
Yeah.
look, man, look. And I know this will discourage people from liking our page, but seriously, how many pages that are way more milquetoast than ours have been zucked at this point, and we're still here?
I keep reporting you guys, and still nothing.
Well, I mean, you've got that fade. Nobody wants to listen to you, Mister Not a City Councilman.
Yeah.
Wait a
clearly
minute. I
no
thought
one
fades
wanted
were
to be here.
fascist. Aren't fades fascist now? I just remembered that.
Oh yeah, they are. I
Everything is.
forgot.
No, the
Anything you don't like.
an
side
undercut.
shave
Isn't that what-
where you go like straight. Yeah, the undercut, like the straight skin to like long hair that you like comb one way or
those
the
are
other, the
still good.
Richard Spencer cut. I think
Okay.
fades are still good to go.
Well, I always heard that boys shave and men's fade.
Is that what they say?
I don't know what that means, but
Okay, give me a second. I'll be right back, guys.
It means if you're just shaving the sides, you got a little boy's haircut. John Williams reported his 5 times in the last hour. Well,
Thanks,
that's
buddy.
probably about our average.
that's about the average.
Yeah, you're doing the Lord's work over there. So I must be like really laggy tonight or something. Like we're having a lot.
You
of
are laggy.
problems.
Like you'll talk, and then we'll see your lips start moving about 10 seconds later.
It's okay. We fill in your lag with my ice jingle.
There we go. That's because you can like flawlessly. It's right on time, and then I'll start talking, and then I'll just be like, "Oh, I guess they don't want to hear what I have to say," and then they'll be like, "Oh,
By the way,
I
Mike,
swear." Yeah, there we go.
there he goes, just like that, like you just
Yep.
saying.
Yeah.
Did you get a new internet provider, Mike? Because when we were podcasting together, okay, I
I
figured.
did. Yeah. New internet, new computer. Man, since everything's been at home, I had to upgrade the entire system. So this is my domicile 2.0 here. So I'm good to jump on anytime you guys need a co-host. It doesn't look like I'll be bothered with council meetings or doing important things for a while.
That always annoys me about Ben when he's like, "Oh, I can't jump on the podcast tonight. I have city council stuff." Who the hell do you think you are, Ben Backus, doing government stuff instead of hanging out with us?
I don't know, Mike. Out there, with that black market barber shop that you're going to have going on, you're going to be busy, man. There's going to be a lot of like derelict, homeless-looking people that are going to want to get faded up to.
Well,
to look
and
proper
depending on what happens
presentable.
with the election, I'm going to have to open it shortly after my boating accident here this week.
Yeah, once Joe Biden, once President Lockdown takes over, then you're not going to be allowed to have people in your house anymore. You want to talk about this a little bit because we shared a meme to our page not too long ago that detailed out some of the new lockdown restrictions that California was putting in place in order to stop the spread of COVID. And I'm telling you, man, this shit is right out of 1984. Right, like lockdown procedures that nobody anywhere has even tried to implement, and here they are trying to do it. Now, okay, I'll read off a few of them for you guys so you know what I'm talking about. So this is from California's new lockdown orders, and this is targeting people for Thanksgiving and Christmas. You ready for this? Rule number 1: no more than 3 households, including your own. If you have 3 married kids, only 2 of them are allowed to come. So this is a fun one because now you have to choose which kids are your favorites.
Well, you already have favorites. Come on
No,
now.
Somebody told me you shouldn't have favorites, but you can have a least favorite.
I'm sure that's Hunter Biden in the Biden household.
Yeah, you think? In that guy's offense, he's got to get sick of hearing about Bo because Bo seems like he was everything: war hero, smart, attractive wife.
Yeah, and
Hunter did screw his wife.
Hunter was just the guy who takes pictures of his butthole and saves them on his computer. That's who Hunter is.
Tell me they weren't really. Are you just making that up, or did he actually?
I don't think I'm making that up.
I think that might be accurate. I don't know. I haven't looked that deeply into it, but
you haven't looked too deeply into what?
I saw.
It was like an abyss. It stared back.
I forgot phrasing. I gotta remember.
I saw a Twitter exchange where Jill Biden said decency is on the ballot today, and somebody said, I just saw a picture of your son taking pictures of his butthole while a naked hooker walked around in the background. So
I mean,
I think that these laptop pictures are pretty spicy. Hi, a puppy.
Let's not pretend that that's not an absolute Chad move, though. I mean, come on. If we were talking about any other context other than a presidential election, we're like, oh, like if you found out that Donald Trump was taking pictures of his buttholes with hookers walking around in the background, you'd be like, yeah, I mean, that sounds like Trump. Sounds like something he would do.
Well, they tried to say that stuff like that for about 3 years.
I bet that thing would be bright orange. Like, how his rest of that thing would just be neon orange, a little neon orange ring.
Holy shit. I don't want to have that image
butthole.
in my mouth,
The
dude.
best butthole.
Of Trump's neon orange butthole.
You
like
guys,
safety orange.
You only wish you had a butthole as good as mine. It's fantastic. It's huge. Absolutely huge. Bigger than yours. Better than yours. But yeah, you get in California, you gotta choose. If you have more than 2 kids, you have to choose which one of them you love more, which I feel is a little mean. But I bet most parents out there.
So what did that other
kid
kid have to do? Just sit outside?
No, you can't sit outside because all of these. If you have a gathering at your house, you have to be outside,
and it has to
right?
be no more than 2 hours, right?
So let me keep going.
Thanksgiving
let me keep,
dinner's outside this year in California.
let me keep reading from this list. All right.
You
okay.
can go
So
inside if you have to use the bathroom.
I'm not there yet, Mike. Jeez, this is why you weren't elected to city council, is because you can't wait.
Spoiler alert.
Mr. Impatient. Okay. So number two, make a list of all attendees and their contact information in case the government wants it. Really? You're gonna like Mr. Policeman's gonna come over to your house and be like, "Do you got the list?" I'm like,
That seems innocent enough.
yeah, I know, right? Like, all right, who was in your house? You're the guy. I don't need to tell you. You're under arrest. You didn't keep a record of everybody that came to your house. Like, seriously, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are, wanting me to give you a written record of everyone that came to my house? Last time I checked, it's my house, right? And I probably paid $1 million for this shack. So just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, wouldn't that, I mean, on a serious note, wouldn't that kind of fall under some Fourth Amendment protections, like being secure in your property, persons, and papers?
You would think so?
No, constitutional protections don't exist under COVID. COVID abolished the Constitution.
Or California.
No, our California.
California abolished the
right
Constitution. COVID's, COVID is just kind of this like happy accident and an excuse to do whatever they want. But California, like, poo-pooed the Constitution a long time ago.
And speaking of poo-poo, California is all about poo-poo being all over their streets. But they'll limit the number of people that can go to your house.
Is that where
feces good?
Thanksgiving dinner, when you have to go to the bathroom, you just head out to the nearest street and pinch one off?
Yeah, I guess I don't know why they added that you can go indoors, because they haven't given that rule to anyone else.
Just go poop in the sidewalk.
So that's right. Rule number 3.
Guys,
may not be indoors.
It's guys. The whole shitting in the street thing is just California trying to return to nature.
What?
It's natural composting and stuff.
What happened to the shitting in the street India meme?
It came to California, so we didn't have to make fun of Indians. The only thing we make fun of Indians for is Bob's and Vagine.
Oh, that's the new thing.
That's the new thing. Rule number 3 is
thirsty California street shitters.
The rule number 3 is may not be indoors. Rule number 4, your guests may go inside briefly to use the bathroom as long as you sanitize it frequently. Now, I want to focus on the briefly part. What constitutes briefly? Like, if your uncle goes into your house and takes a giant 10-minute shit, is he now breaking the law?
What if it's brief for him, though? What if he cut it down from 20 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, 10 minutes is a quick session for me in the morning.
Especially if we're talking Thanksgiving, I think 10 minutes is a pretty.
If I'm on the clock pooping, it's easily 15.
I mean, you get sitting down. You had a couple cups of coffee. You had a large fiber diet for the day. You get on your phone. You're checking Facebook. You're mean tweeting people. I mean, Donald Trump's probably spent at least a half hour on the toilet.
Yeah, a lot of his tweets come from the shitter. It has to.
Except Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, with
looks
that
bitch, Dad.
With that Big Mac and Diet Coke diet, he's got to be spending at least an hour or 2 on the can a day. That's where his best thoughts come from. And you know what? I hope that after all this is over, whether he's the president for another 4 years or not, he compiles like a coffee table book of his best, my best tweets.
The Trump Presidential Library, you mean?
The golden.
Yeah, I can't wait to visit
the Trump Presidential Library of all of his his literal shit posts, tweets.
I think you're honest. I'm seeing it here. It's got a big screen. It projects his best memes and tweets. As you're walking through
onto your wall. I mean, it's got to be big and glorious and gold plated if it's Donald Trump.
Gold.
What state will that be in?
Yep. Well, he's kind of forsaken New York for Florida. He's a Florida resident now, and it honestly, with the whole Florida man meme, that like it fits right in.
You know what? I didn't even think of that, but you're absolutely right. That's another thing that Florida never lives down is the Florida man meme.
I haven't heard anybody else talk about this. I mean, Trump is gonna. Every president gets a presidential library. Trump's gonna have one. Can you imagine how gaudy that thing's gonna be?
Yep.
It's going to be the best one. It's going to be the biggest.
The best one ever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's terrifying to think about.
Definitely.
I can't wait to take a family vacation there.
To the Trump.
To the Trump library. It's just tweet.
Daddy, are we going to Florida to go to Disney World? No, kids.
Although, I mean, let's be honest though. If Biden wins, they're not going to let them build a Trump library. I mean, that's why build something just to tear it down right away.
Yeah.
No, they'll probably carpet bomb Mar-a-Lago.
I don't know if you guys noticed on the
He's like a
here, but District 1 for the president, that's going to go blue. District 2 here in Nebraska is 600 votes away from going blue.
See, here's the thing about it.
2
I'm
votes.
looking at the AP right now, and they just have Nebraska as a block.
Yeah, go to the Secretary of State site. Go directly to the site. That's where I do.
Don't tell me what to do, Mike.
Oh, I forgot. I can because I'm the one true libertarian.
Now, I think Hobbs gets to take that claim because he's been in a government paper on the Guardian and doxed by Antifa. So I mean,
yeah,
come on.
I mean that resume right there. I can't.
That's a lot of street cred.
That.
Right?
That is it's street cred amongst the people that I would want to have street cred. I mean, I'm practically like a Garth Brooks song, man. I got friends in low places.
Well, Arizona. Let me hide myself here. We got Arizona here is going. It's not updating.
Conspiracy, man.
That's Nebraska.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, Trump's still winning in Virginia, even though it's called for Biden. So that's
Arizona. 74% of the votes are in. Biden has it by a lot.
Yeah, it looks like it. And Joe Jorgensen, 1.3%. Again, not breaking through very high in many places. She's got 2 in Nebraska. Let me check Montana. What has she got there? 2.3. All right, she's got his beats there. 2.7 in North Dakota.
You know what?
Well, what helped Gary Johnson was he got something like almost 10% in Utah, didn't he?
Arizona. Well, that's
but
former governor there.
McMuffin also got some.
Yeah,
some
what was
votes
up with
in
that
Utah.
last election? That was weird. I mean, that's getting way off target, but
I actually saw a McMillan yard sign last election. It was like I found it. I found Bigfoot, guys. It's right here.
So what are the riots going to look like tomorrow,
as
guys? What do you think? Are we
well, you can't hear him yet. They're not doing it yet over.
No, I live in the civilized part of the state.
Oh, okay. I don't
think that it's going to be anything where I'm at. I think Nathan and Mike are going to catch the brunt of it. Ben, you are probably you're pretty close
3
to
hours.
Denver though, aren't you?
Denverites are not going to drive out an hour to. No, people from Denver are not going to drive out an hour to riot in freaking Gering, Nebraska. He's fine. I guarantee you he's okay.
I am going to reach out to some of my Biden friends and see if they can't snag me like a 4K TV before they burn the Best Buy down.
Yeah, just give them a wish list. Be like, I could really use a PlayStation 5.
That's my problem with a lot of these looting. I mean, they're never taking like winter coats or armloads of canned food. It's always like sneakers and 4K TVs.
Or food.
Let's not go there.
All right, guys. Well, hey, I'm gonna jump off here. If you guys are on later, I might join you and chat a little bit more about the totals. But disappointed so far. But glad to be hanging out with you guys, and can't wait to be on a few more lists. And
Thanks for joining us.
yeah, not a problem, guys. We'll talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
All
I need
right.
to check over and see. I know the drunken disorderly people invited one of us to pop over for a bit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go take a piss real quick.
I'll go over. I'll go over there if you want to bring one of them over here.
Yeah, let's see if let me see if anybody wants to pop over here. Boy, you got Hobbs is a hamster bladder. Did he just did he pack away a couple Guinnesses?
I guess I put away 3 reds, so I'm
Nice.
like, nice. Absolutely. So let's get an update real quick. Iowa is starting to report in
Jeez,
results.
about time. What the hell?
I know. I don't know why it took them so long, but
They must-
right now you got 19% reporting in. It's 59% for Joe Biden and 39% for Donald Trump. So that's a thing. But Donald Trump is still winning in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Now he's winning in North Carolina by 0.8%.
Oh, there's another state we can get yelled at for.
That's a thing. He's winning, and he's still winning in Virginia, despite it being called for Biden. I don't understand this. This is,
I don't know what's going on there. 54% of the votes. He's ahead by 200,000.
and they called it for Biden. They called it for Biden like 20 minutes ago.
Well,
And
I don't understand. Who are they waiting on here? It says 55% of the votes.
don't look now, but New Hampshire is only light blue right now.
Okay, I see why they're calling it for Biden, Nathan. A lot of these progressive counties along the coast are only reporting like 20%, and they're Biden blowouts. Like Norfolk, not Norfolk, like Nebraska. Norfolk is only 25% of the votes in. Virginia Beach, 25% of the votes, and those are strong Biden areas.
I guess, but I feel like there's something a little stupid about calling an election for someone when they're behind by 10 points. Right? Wait.
Yeah.
Like, there's no problem waiting, right? Just wait on it.
Before,
Wait
yeah,
to
it's
see.
not,
You're just gonna look
Yeah.
stupid if Trump ends up winning it.
let's see who else is. I mean, I'm kind of surprised by Michigan. I thought Michigan had a bunch of communists in it for some reason.
I'm shocked by Michigan and Wisconsin, but Wisconsin maybe we shouldn't be because they had a lot of violence going on.
I'm gonna say that.
year.
Yeah, that helped.
But Michigan, did we have a lot of riots going down in Michigan?
No, I don't know what the deal is with Michigan. I think it's a lot of. I don't know.
Maybe all that lead in the water went to their heads, and they're all
Oof,
voting for the
Token
wrong
drinks
person.
Reds. At least he stays hydrated. Big oof.
They go, you know, like I like Reds. All right, sue me. All right, come at me, bro.
I've never had one. It's like what, an apple cider?
It's
Yeah.
it's an apple ale.
So
It's
Strong
good though.
bow.
It's like an apple cider.
it's strong though.
No, Strongbow is
Yeah, Strongbow. I prefer Angry Orchard to Strongbow personally.
What are those, like 3-2?
Yeah, something like that. It's usually harder than your general beer, but it's not like a hard liquor or anything like that.
It's they're good for like relaxing sipping. I would not want to get drunk on them because I think you'd get full long before you get drunk.
At least you're
Oh, I've-
dehydrated.
I have gotten drunk on ciders plenty of times because I love them so much and I can drink so many of them.
You're also like 5 feet tall. So.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
well,
geez, geez.
low blow by Hobbs over here.
Oh, blow.
Hey, man, I'm sitting down right now. The audience doesn't know how tall I am. You're just blowing my cover right now. Like, no lie. When I went to Spike Cohen's event, somebody's like, "Oh, you're Roads to Liberty?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh, you're Token?" "Yeah, I'm Token." "You're shorter than I thought you'd be." I'm like, "Fuck you, man."
I don't have
Jesus.
I don't have my picture up a lot on my Facebook page, and I think people tend to assume I'm like a fat basement internet troll.
You're not?
So a lot of times they meet me in person, they're like, "You don't look anything like I thought you would." And it's like, "Wait, you thought I'd be an internet troll?"
Like, guys, we these are videos that we have. If you're listening on the Think Liberty podcast stream right now, there is video right now on our YouTube and Facebook channel. So go check it out. I know a lot of you, most of you, listen to these podcasts and don't watch the videos, and that's fine. But you can know what all of us look like if you hop on YouTube and give it a subscribe. That would be fantastic.
Let's see. Texas is up to 80% reporting in, 51% Trump.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident Trump's going to win. Now they're calling Kansas for Trump. Missouri just flipped from blue to red. The Biden's lead in Arizona is going down. Iowa is still hard for Joe Biden right now, but Trump's still winning in Wisconsin and Michigan, which is surprising me. I was thinking that Trump would win Ohio and Pennsylvania, but lose Michigan and Wisconsin. But he's winning all 4 of those states right now, so that's a thing. That's a thing. Could we be in for a reing part 2? Is this in the future for us?
Yeah, look at what's reported
so.
in on mine. The reported in for Montana has Joe Biden winning that one.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at Montana.
It's because Missoula reported in.
Missoula? Is that supposed
Yeah,
to
it's
be
like
a big
bunch
city?
of hippies. It's a bunch of hippies and college kids
They got
Yeah.
hippies and college kids in Montana?
in Missoula. A whole shitload.
Yeah, you got
Shit, with the
Missoula.
things you learn living in the western part of the state.
You got Missoula and Billings and Kalispell are like the 3 cities, and it's like a whole lot of nothing else.
I gotta look at the governor's race in Lyman Bishop. Oh, Lyman Bishop, 3.3%. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not as good as our boy here in Nebraska, Gene Sidek, at let's see, 6.2%, 21,000 votes. My man Gene over here.
So we got half an hour till the West Coast closes, but I don't know what the significance of that would be because everybody knows how that's going to turn out.
Oh yeah, Trump's definitely going to win Oregon. That's going to happen.
I feel bad for all the non-commies that live in California and Oregon and Washington.
Well, they gotta move. They gotta get out of there.
What is their options in that state? I guess
Obviously not very much. I think U-Haul is kind of running a deficit on rental trucks in those states, and I'm not joking either. It's like there are some times when U-Haul says, "Hey, we can't rent you a truck because we have nothing available."
Yeah, if you're ever thinking of moving to an area, go check out the U-Hauls first. If the U-Haul dealership where you want to move, or the U-Haul rental place where you want to move to has like none or maybe 2 U-Hauls, don't move there. That means everybody is moving away from there for a reason.
Yeah, they do that every other year. They call it the U-Haul Index, where they audit like which U-Hauls are moving away and which U-Hauls are moving, and they calculate it up. And states like California and whatnot are always on a negative, and states like Texas are always on the positive.
Yeah, if you want to go, if you're moving to it, if you think about moving to a place and the U-Haul rental lot is just chock full of U-Hauls, look for houses.
If you're lucky,
Or don't, because
Yeah.
they're gonna be expensive there.
Well,
yeah, that's what my mom and my aunt they in Idaho in Coeur d'Alene, and the property values over the last 3 or 4 years have gone absolutely, because all of the hipsters are moving there from California and Washington and Oregon and snatching up all the properties with that Silicon Valley money.
We're starting to see some overflow from Colorado of people wanting to get out of the cities.
Mhm.
Right now in Gearing, there's only 40 houses for sale.
Oh, hold up. Apparently, Gene is looking for the link.
I sent it to him.
I mean, he was looking for it on my chat, so I was apparently being the dumbass. There he goes. I sent it to him.
Yeah, I sent it to him a little bit ago. He was over on the Drunk and Disorderly podcast too.
Oh, did they ever decide who they're going to send over here?
We are down.
They're probably all drunk and disorderly.
Dre's
right
Dre's
now.
gonna pop over.
Okay. Are we going to send one of ours over there?
Or who wants to run over there?
I'll go over there. That's fine.
All right, let me get you the link.
All right, cool. Send it to me, Captain, Mr. Producer Ben. This is why we pay you the big bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
If I could find here it is. Boy, we're professional here.
Absolutely. I mean, only the best for our listeners.
Well, I'm trying to send it to you, but it's friggin'
It's being big dumb. Here we go.
oof. Is that right?
Should I go over right now?
Sure. See if that takes you there.
Okay, I'll drop me out of here first so I'm not accidentally streaming. to
Go on,
TV.
get.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Uh-oh.
What? There she
Whoa.
is.
Is that a ghost?
Oh my God. Hi, guys.
Ah, it's a haunted house.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
Years ago, I had
Welcome
this
to
issue.
Spooky Time on Roads to Liberty.
Hi, guys. So years ago, we had this issue, and I thought I had it resolved, but apparently not.
What is? I think I'm gonna have a seizure.
Yeah, we're in real epilepsy hours now.
All right.
This- For everybody watching, this is the ghost of Dre from
There
there.
we go.
There we go.
Jesus. Sorry, guys.
This is Dre from Drunk and Disorderly podcast,
Yep.
Thanks.
Another Nebraska native.
who for some reason never gets their listeners zucked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you guys.
we've been on hiatus for a while, guys, but I gotta tell you, I downloaded after everybody was talking about getting all these pages getting zucked the last week. I was freaking out, so I downloaded this Unfriender app. It goes off constantly. Look at this.
Unfriender.
Yep, it's called.
It shows you who gets zucked from your page.
So it'll tell you who unfriends you and friends you. Do you really think that pages and pages of people are just friending and unfriending me the last couple days at random? I don't think so.
Well, we were up to. Do you keep track of your followers? How many you have? We were up to like 15,000 at one point, and then there was a bunch of zuckenings, and we got down to 11K, and now we're like perma 11K. We'll get up above it, and then 200 or 300 people get wiped out.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't look at that because I would be so upset right now.
They wipe like 4,000 people off of us, and it's like every time we creep back up to that like 10,900 mark, like we crest 11,000, and it's like goes, no, you're not allowed to do that. It's like just takes a couple hundred away from us.
We might have a little bit spicier followers than you guys. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you guys have a little bit bigger of a following than us. I don't know, but wow. I don't know. Maybe that's a little feather in your cap, I would say. You know,
that our
They're,
users keep
fucking
getting
with
banned.
you. They're not fucking with us, I don't think.
Right.
But like I said, we've been on hiatus. I'm not posting a lot because I'm like, I'm gonna wait until after the election. I'm the one that basically runs our page as far as like the postings, and I'm like, I'm not putting any effort in because I'm sick of seeing my fellow people's efforts get just. So I'm just going to wait until after the election to really put any effort forward.
Yeah, the algorithm, you'll get fucked in the algorithm too if he gets mad, if the old Zuck gets mad at you. We've noticed that
so,
much.
I'm just like, fuck it. Fuck them.
Yeah, I take the Zuck coming after us as kind of a shitposter's merit badge.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
If you're pissing off the overlords in Silicon Valley, you've got to be doing something right as far as the liberty movement is concerned.
Exactly. And here in the oh my God, where the prairie oh my God, I lost it.
You guys been drinking over on your podcast too? We have.
A little bit.
I think this is the most that I've drank in the last 10 months, honestly.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, but you were staying sober while your wife was pregnant.
And you know what? After
Wow.
she had the baby, I realized I don't really miss it that much. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I haven't drank for like over a week. Last time I drank a whole bottle of wine, which isn't a lot. It's like 4.5 glasses, so it's amateur hour, honestly. But I hadn't eaten a lot that day, so I did not have a great day the next day. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take a little break.
Well, I did sober October.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to give your liver a little break once in a while. And when you come off of sober October, you kind of realize, all right, well, maybe I don't need to drink that much for a little while.
right. You save a little money, a little time.
Right?
So
what's
sober
been-
October for you, are you like everything's off the table, not just alcohol, or is that your only vice?
I plead the fifth.
Okay. Gotcha.
I do live on the border of Colorado. I will say that much.
Oh, really? I didn't realize you were that far west.
Yeah. I'm in the corner between Wyoming and Colorado.
Okay. So are you guys watching what's going on? Because I'm focused hyper on what you guys and the people on my podcast and what we're talking about. So I'm not watching.
We've been doing updates for people. They just had some come in. The next big one, I've got it down here. The next big one is going to be at 9, and they've kind of been trickling in. Looks like Trump is going to win Texas. That keeps trickling upward. Pennsylvania is kind of a surprise, at least for me. I mean, Trump is really pulling away there. I think if he wins that one, it's kind of a blowout.
Really?
Yeah. Although we still have to get some reporting in from the left coast, but I think we all know where that's going to go. I think
I really good.
some of the big ones. I think it's going to be the ones they're not all that predictable. Like I've seen a lot of maps that are saying like Nevada is going to go blue, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. And you taking a look at people were saying that Idaho is probably going to go red, but like I said, what my mom is telling me, there's a lot of fucking hipsters moving in from Washington, Oregon, and Silicon Valley. They're going to count for a lot of votes.
All right. I like to look at places where I would bug out to. So I've been looking at like Idaho and Montana, and housing in Idaho is about non-existent. And it's like to get anything, there was like I think I looked at a double wide trailer in some place in Idaho, $235,000.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think people in California, you're right, they're fleeing to Idaho and Montana.
Yeah. It's like I said, my aunt, she used to live in Arizona, and she was a postal worker for like forever. And then she retired and then decided that, hey, let's just move to Idaho for some reason, like a change of scenery. And she moved up to Idaho, and then she got in on the ground level before all of the Silicon Valley hipsters started coming in and driving the property prices up. And now, like, it's impossible to find, like you said, a trailer to live in.
A double wide trailer. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, a decent house is impossible.
So just a minute ago over on my show, we were talking about, the lefties fleeing the leftist shitholes that they've created for lower taxes and whatnot. And Caleb said that if you do that, you shouldn't be allowed to vote in local elections for 5 years.
Well, that's what I don't get. Why are they like, well, we fucked this place up, let's go someplace else, and then they vote for the same policies? It doesn't even make any sense.
You should have to stay there and reap what you voted into policy. You thought this was a great idea. Enjoy it.
Yeah. There's a certain segment of them that that just completely lack the self.
Oh, we got Stutter Hobbs. He's been doing this all night.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
There he goes.
Okay. I was gonna say, there's a certain percentage of those people that do that lack the self-awareness to realize that the places that they're fleeing from are worth fleeing from because of the policies that they voted in. But there's also a certain small subset of them that are intentionally moving to places like Idaho and Texas and Nevada and whatnot in order to purposefully flip them. And I have seen Facebook groups and I've seen websites that this is the strategy, and it's like a community organizing and mutual aid assistance groups where it's like, hey, want to move to a red state and flip it blue? Here's some money to go buy some property. So
it's kind of like what libertarians are trying to do with New Hampshire.
Yeah, but in this case, it's working.
That's some determination, though, to just sell all your shit to try and move somewhere and turn it into a communist shithole, though.
Oh, it's gross. But you have to almost think that there's that dark money behind it. Maybe like Soros. Hey, go infiltrate these nice places and fuck them up.
Yeah, you're really speaking my language here with the tinfoil hat and stuff.
I don't know. I just can't believe that, because I can't even see people moving across town because they don't like something, much less moving across the country.
I have moved out of spite before, literally across the parking lot.
Oh, Ben,
the exact same place, the exact same apartment I was living in one complex. 2 of the buildings were owned by one company. The other 2 buildings were owned by another company. I moved after a year out of spite. You're not going to fuck with my home and make me feel uncomfortable where I live. I will move across. I will pay a moving company. I will pay new fucking deposits, and I will move literally 500 feet that way to fuck you over because you're trying to fuck with my life. This is my home.
Well, maybe that's the attitude that these people moving have. They think the Republicans screwed it up, so they're moving somewhere else.
I don't think they have that fortitude.
No, but there's also the
Stutter Hobbs.
For fuck's sake. When you're talking about
oh my gosh.
across, I'm gonna drop out and then I'm gonna come back in.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I feel he's got a really good point, and I really want to hear it. So I'm super glad
he keeps trying to do it. He looked very serious about it. So I think you're right. And Gene,
I love it. I feel like we're on the same page, and I really want to hear what he has to say.
You like how I dressed up for this podcast?
Is that a fucking tux, dude? You're wearing a tux. I love it.
I got a bow tie on, but it's hidden by the beard.
You got a fucking puffy beard going on. What are you drinking tonight, my man?
Whiskey, bourbon.
Oh, keeping it all classy.
Yep. Hobbs, you're back.
I am back.
All right, I really want to hear what you have to say about this.
I was going to say, Ben, you said that you couldn't imagine somebody moving across town, let alone across the country, just for political. Well, you're coming from the position of somebody like you or me that has a steady job and career opportunities and whatnot. You have to realize that a lot of these people that are willing to do something like this, if they have the backing of maybe some shadow money or maybe a very committed mutual aid group, are the types of people that they don't have a steady job. These are like gig economy type people that just kind of live, basement dwellers that just kind of live like paycheck to paycheck, doing whatever they can whenever they can. So if I can be an Uber driver in Portland and make it, I can be an Uber driver in Rathdrum, Idaho and make it too, so let me just let this Soros money float me over there, and then I can vote and have all my friends and have a fucking flop house with 15 of my buddies, and we can all vote Democrat and crash the whole thing Cloward Piven style.
Well, that sounds like Kalispell, Montana, at least. So
Mm.
it's a bunch of that. I don't know if you ever been. You ever been over to Montana?
I've driven through Montana, and I did some when I was a freshman in high school. I went to the Crow Reservation, like missionary work and fix up Indians' houses and stuff.
Crow Reservation? Is that what it's called, or is that what it's for?
The Crow tribe,
Oh, okay.
the Native American.
I don't even want to know where you're we're going with that.
Well, crows sometimes need rehab.
Bird, the Native American tribe.
Okay, got it. I've never heard of that tribe, so I had to I had to ask.
Yep.
You know, and if you've never been, what was their reservation like? I'm familiar with the Lakota reservations. Was it almost unbelievable?
It was a lot of wide open spaces. I only had to work on one particular house, and it was a decent house. We like rebuilt the porch and repainted the outside of the house and everything, and it wasn't too bad. We stayed in a high school, and
I think if anybody wants to see what the end game is for the government, what they want everybody to be like, they just need to go to an Indian reservation, like one of the Lakota ones up in South
That's
Dakota.
just depressing.
Yeah, and you can see that's the plan that the government wants for you.
yeah,
Completely
Okay.
dependent, no drive to do anything because they're supplying everything for you. So it's keeping them oppressed. That's pretty much the real plan right there.
yeah,
So
that is
that
too.
the blue team wants that or no?
What's that?
Would you guys like? I don't know. I think that most of the people on the left would think that that's super duper. And yes, let's let the government take care of us and let's let all these social programs come to fruition and be great. But they don't realize that all these social programs that come to fruition put people in worse situations that they were in to begin with.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're providing for Native Americans. They provide free education. They provide food. They provide land. They provide a monthly check. And it's some of the most impoverished areas in America. So what's the math on that one?
Yeah, and
So they're not
that's what.
getting better. They're the most impoverished areas and they get the most government benefit, correct?
Right.
Yeah, it's
Such a benefit.
of these leftists that want to kind of consolidate all power and all control within the central government. They don't even is the actual model or where things are going to go. They take a look at the Scandinavian country, a market economy with a strong social welfare net, and they think that that is what it's going to be, rather than taking a look at the Indian reservations. Now, like I said, I did that mission work when I was in between my 8th grade and freshman year. I did a stint at one in Utah at an Apache reservation. It was much the same thing. It's like abject poverty, substance abuse. There's Gene. Let's stop talking about depressing stuff. Let's talk about something happy. Gene, how are we doing today, sir?
Oh, awesome. I'm 6.28%, so it keeps the percentage keeps kind of climbing.
I love it.
I'll drink to
For
that.
those who don't know,
I'm
Gene
Woo.
Gene Sayedek ran against Ben Sass here in Nebraska. So 6% in a 3-way race is pretty good for a libertarian.
Fuck yeah.
Let me bring up some.
Well, he's bringing it up and we can't hear him anymore,
Yeah,
but
do we
Where'd he go?
yay! Gene, I'm so happy for you. I think you did such
Can
a
you hear
great
me now?
job. I love campaign. Let's take it. Okay.
Can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. So we've got Texas here. Trump's still hanging on there. Florida, Trump blowout. Iowa going to Biden for some reason. I didn't.
Weird.
I don't live over by Iowa. What's the deal with Iowa?
So Iowa is really, really blue in some areas, but it's like I don't know. I would say it's a purple state because it's so ag heavy that it's very, very red in the majority of it. But in the cities, it's very, very blue.
Right. It's like Illinois. It's geographically red, but demographically blue.
Exactly.
So it might be some tariff blowback there, huh?
Possibly. Or maybe it's just the fact that idiots move to cities and vote Democrat.
So Gene, what do you think? You think you're going to hold at 6 for the whole race? What are we showing for percentage here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been steadily increasing throughout the night. I mean, it started at like 6.09 and it's up to 6.28. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's dry. I don't think it's. I think I'm gonna be in that 6% range. So, I'm pretty pumped about that. I mean, I had a goal of 50,000 votes, which was double the last election.
So what's the Nebraska?
And it looks like I'm gonna.
Do you know what the Nebraska record is for a 3-way race for Senate? Or
I'd have to look. I don't know off the top of my head.
I think 6 has got to be right, pretty close.
It's just I don't know. My whole point in running was more just to promote party. It wasn't anything as that was the whole point of the process, and just to ensure that everybody in the state saw a libertarian candidate. And I know, with Dustin and Dennis and Tyler, they all stepped up and ran too, so that was assured. But now we filled the entire. I thought my personal opinion is filling the entire federal ticket was important for the party, and that was my whole point in running. I kind of wish, knowing how things went, I wish I was a better candidate for sure. I don't know if I could have beat anybody, but certainly, it's a step. It's progress. So,
did Sass even campaign? Did you even see? Did he even come to the state for anything? Or
I don't believe so. I did hear in the last few days some commercials.
You know what? I've never seen
radio commercials.
I've never seen Sass once on this side of the state. Has he ever been on that side of the state?
I've never seen him. Bacon. The congressional guy is all over the place. Bacon's all over the place, but Sass is. Why would he? I mean, the Democrat was a poor candidate.
Well, yeah, but Hobbs ran against Adrian Smith, and not to talk up Adrian Smith too much, but if there's an event where you can shake hands and kiss babies, Adrian Smith is there usually. So I don't know what Sass does.
Yeah, Sass is not. And I don't know. I kind of, I knew I was never going to win the thing, but man, if there was a guy to beat, it'd be that guy. Because, just a quick story. Here's what he reminds me of. When I went to college, the Greek system was different. I mean, it was elitist, in my opinion. I was never part of it. He reminds me of a frat boy that you just want to, just want to. Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I don't know if you remember when I ran for Secretary of State, he was running for office the first time, and I saw him at 3 or 4 events, and he was just the phoniest, weirdest guy. I don't know. I tried talking to him a couple times, and he had just weird, I want to say like doll eyes. He was just kind of
lifeless glass orbs inside of his skull.
He was just creepy.
Well, you also have to remember these, like the high school, you come off as being just absolutely 3 sheets to the wind drunk off his ass talking to like college commencements and high school graduates and whatnot. It's like, does this guy even care anymore? Is
Well,
he
Hey,
even-
fellow
I
kids.
I guarantee you I could give a better commencement speech. I mean, that's without even thinking about it, I could give a better
Right, I
commencement
could
speech, so.
probably give a better commencement speech than he did on that one that got a whole lot of publicity.
Oh,
Probably
that
do it
was
as
terrible. I
as-
can't.
drunk as I am right now. I could probably get up there and wing it a lot better than he did. He was all over the place on
I
that.
kind of remember that. The
What were
story
a
about
couple of
that.
the highlights?
Oh my God,
Oh,
it's so
like
weird. It was
kids
just
are
weird.
too fat to climb a rope.
Yeah, it's like these kids these days, they can't join the
Psychology
military.
psychology majors are a waste of effort. I'll go psychology. That's a waste of degree. I mean,
Here's the other question:
just-
then why
just-
can't the GOP find somebody to run against him in a primary? I mean, is he that great of a? And again, just because I'm familiar with Adrian Smith, he's on a lot of committees. He gets a lot for his constituents out here. Sass doesn't seem to do anything, but the GOP just seems to float along with it.
well, I mean, that's a good question. I don't. They're probably okay with him. I mean, what's he? He's going to win by a mile, and
Do you think it's
I
because
don't,
they don't have anybody else and he's got name recognition and they're just like, nah, we're lazy.
Probably.
People
He's
don't
got,
like it.
he's got a bunch of money. That's the main problem is nobody challenges any of these people in the primary system.
Absolutely.
well, it's we're at the liberty. It's hard to. I try not to worry about Republicans. I mean, I think the party is growing, and I think it's. Obviously, I wish we were competitive right out of the gate, but I think we are. I mean, we're taking steps forward. I mean, that's all you can do. So.
As far as
I
the
mean,
state-
I'm sitting here. I'm at 6.29%. The local Omaha media would not mention my name once. I was at the Joe Jorgensen event over the weekend. I gave 3 television interviews. Not one of them aired. The Omaha World Herald would not put me or Dustin's or Dennis's or Joe's names in their voter guide. I mean, and still here I am at 6.29%. I mean, I don't know. I can't help but think that's all positive stuff. So
Yeah, the outright suppression was kind of surprising this time, where they wouldn't even put you in a voter's guide.
yeah.
that's
I wanted to ask you, did they respond? Because like I said earlier on my show and in the NELP chat, my Republican parents both voted for you. Did and I sent them your little press release or your letter that you sent to the World Herald, say, hey, you didn't include me, basically. Did you get a response from the Omaha World Herald?
I never got a response to that press release. I sent in a op-ed piece. They never printed it.
But did they respond?
Jared Weimer, the state chair. No, not at all. I sent numerous emails to various reporters. They never responded. I sent numerous press releases. They never printed them. Even when they were polar opposite of Ben Sass, Ben Sass would say something. I sent a press release with a polar opposite view, and they just ignored it. I mean, I don't. And the reason I did that is I had a discussion with Joe Morton, which is one of their primary political candidates, perhaps a year ago, and I said, "How come you don't say anything about libertarians?" I mean, he says, "Well, you don't put out any press releases." So here I am putting out press release after press release, and he is totally ignoring it. So it's double speak.
It's disingenuous.
It's just 100%. They change. Yeah, they set some criteria, then they change them. What are you going to do? I mean, I stopped worrying about it. I kind of feel sorry for them in a way because they're dwindling. They just had Aaron Duffy, I think is that her name, Aaron Duffy quit, went to a child care job because, I mean, literally the paper is going downhill and they don't report anything. They don't report, they're more of a PR outfit than anything. And that's what, you know, I was familiar with a particular story that made headlines about, it was 8 months ago. And the paper totally misreported. And I talked to a local journalist. I said, well, this is the way it happened. And this is why the difference? Oh, just PR. The outfit had more PR than others. So that's just the way it is. I was just shocked by the response. Just said, this is the way it is. So I'm not to make of it. I think, I'm not sure if, you know, my kids don't follow.
They're doing a disservice to the voters is what we need to
Yes,
focus
exactly.
on. They're doing a disservice to the voters, the people who I'm sure, like, you know, we are not in the minority in wanting more choices to the duopoly. So they're doing 100% disservice to their, you know, constituents, to their viewers, whatever they call it, whatever. And it is 100% disingenuous to exclude third parties from any polling, from any, you know, news coverage. This is what people want. They know this. But I think that this is where the dark money comes in again. I'm sorry. My tinfoil hat is giant, and I'm sorry you can't see it, but there.
No, I don't think you're far off, Dre. I mean, my first radio interview literally was the questions, 3 questions. Are you really on the ballot? Are you really on the ballot? And the last question was, do you have any money to spend? I mean,
fuck you.
Yes. Can you believe that question? Do you have any money to spend? I mean, this is, are you serious? This is a radio, this was an Omaha radio station.
Oh,
and, you know, you're shocked by that question. And like, what are you asking? Like, that I can't believe that was even.
Why don't you ask me about my policies and my principles and what I'm running on, you asshole? Right?
Yeah. I mean, so, but on the other hand, I don't, you know, it's not worth getting mad about. You know, we just keep. I think we just keep plugging along, and we're growing.
We are.
I think we have a great message. I went to an event tonight where a guy, you know, said, "I heard your interview with the Sioux City station, and it was great. I never heard those things before." You know, I think we're providing ideas that voters just haven't heard in a while. So, I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Well, that's good. You know, like I said before earlier on my show earlier, and I don't know if I said it here, I'm a little drunk, but you ran a really fucking positive campaign. You got a really fucking positive message. You're a great public speaker, and you put our principles and policies out there in a way that is so digestible, and it literally like warms my heart when I get to hear you speak. So thank you for that.
I appreciate that. And like I said in the before, it's all, but you know, you have to. I greatly appreciate the party management, the state committee, all the affiliates that are trying hard to organize and become more relevant, more viable. I mean, it's a team effort. Candidates and political parties have to work together in promoting their message and promoting growth within the state of Nebraska. So it's truly, you know, it's I've been with the party for a long time, and I first of all, I greatly enjoy everybody. I mean, everybody's fun to be with.
Absolutely.
And we have, you know, rule number 1 I always say is have fun. If you're not having fun, it's time to leave. And then the management is just really good. I mean, the management is so much better than it was, you know, 20 years ago or 16 years ago. We're doing things that are very good for growth of the party. So
Yeah, and I've said since I first started getting really involved with this state party back in 2015, 2016, and I went down to Orlando, that this state party, the Nebraska State Party, pound for pound, works harder than any state party in the country. And going to Orlando and seeing the way that some of the other bigger parties that might get a lot of attention and everything, like we're out there hustling every day, and we have people like you. We got all of these little podcasts and whatnot that we're doing amongst the state here. We are really putting in the work out there.
We have a lot
it's
rock stars that are pounding the fucking pavement, and I would be remiss to say that I am one of them. I am not one of the harder working activists in Nebraska. I've got to say there are so many, many, many hard workers in this state that I give kudos to.
I wouldn't, Dre, you're the fact that you're willing to be a county chair of the biggest county in Nebraska. I don't dismiss your contribution to the party. And, you have someone that works with you, Margaret. She's great. I mean, Margaret's one of those people that sit in the background and don't want to, but she did something for me. The little sign waving on 14th and Dodge. I mean, she put that together, and I just showed up, and we had 20 people there waving signs and being crazy and having a good time. I mean, it was all fun, and and then you can't go. You got to go back at the history and previous management too. I mean, it's all building blocks on. Ben, he was part of the state central committee for a while. He's still. He helped organize the last convention, which went off really well, I thought.
Yes, that was a good job.
So I'm talking about building off things.
About
building off things. How long have we known each other, Gene? Since like 2014 or 15?
Oh yeah, a while.
So when I first came to the party, nothing against Gene, but he was kind of the grumpy old man of the party.
Yeah, I think. No, you're not the grumpy old man anymore. I think it was because Gene has softened up a lot. I think it was because the party wasn't really doing anything. And Gene, you were there through a lot of it. And now stuff's actually happening. It seems to me like you've softened up. You're excited about stuff, but it seemed like when I first got in, you were just kind of burnt out, and it seemed like we weren't really getting anywhere. Well, we went through 3 or 4 times of getting and losing ballot access, and that was tough. But frankly, I've greatly enjoyed being part of the party and meeting. I have a great time, and it's because of folks like you guys. You guys just, I love just sitting in the corner and listening to you guys talking and yucking it up and having a good time and trying. I also enjoy the challenge. Nebraska is a tough state for ballot access, and I think we've solved that problem, and then we're going on to the next step. So, I want to say our state is maybe one of the top libertarian parties, state parties in the state, in the nation. So it's all good. I mean, I greatly enjoy everybody's company and just having a good time with it all. And, hopefully in the end, we're going to promote liberty and freedom. And, that's the end goal. But in the process, in the path to it, I'm having a good time with just hanging with everybody. So.
Yeah, I need another glass of wine. Hang on. Oh.
This is my choice of drink tonight.
Oh, that's a big
The
one.
Kirkland Cabernets.
Kirkland Cabernet.
Cabernets are. It's a cheap, good wine.
You know, I don't know if I said this on this podcast or the one my own I was on earlier, but I haven't drank for over a week, and the last time I drank was red wine, and it was just a little bottle, like 4.5 glasses, like nothing crazy, but I was down the whole next day.
Wine will do that to you. Wine hangover. Man, the only thing worse than that is like a Mike's Hard Lemonade hangover.
Yeah, wine is one of those things that's like the easiest to drink, and it's the hardest things to recover from.
Yeah, if you haven't drank enough water before, during, after, or eaten enough, you're gonna have a bad day.
Yeah, I think some of the worst hangovers in my life have been wine hangovers.
Yeah.
I think
And,
one of them was a box wine.
Tonight is it's wine night, but I've been kind of gravitating toward whiskeys and bourbons. I mean, I've been trying a lot of different whiskeys and bourbons. I see. What are you drinking there?
Old Forester 1910.
Okay,
bourbon.
Old Forester 1910. Okay, I'll give that a shot. I have I've tried. Let's see. I don't know. I can't think of them all, but
I'm a bourbon nut. So if we want to get off the rails and start talking bourbons, I'm all for it. I mean,
I'm a novice, so I don't know my bourbons very well. But
all right, some good.
Honestly, I don't know
bourbons. Some good bourbons to ease into. Listeners, write these down. There's one that's called Mellow Corn Whiskey. It looks like it's something that will get. It's like rot gut. It's got a cheesy label on it. It's got a plastic cap. It's about $17 a bottle.
Oh god!
It's a good whiskey.
Okay, that's
though.
a red flag right there.
No, it's good. It's like for some everybody that drink into bourbon and whiskeys knows about Mellow Corn Whiskey. And another one that seems like it's going to give you rot gut, Old Granddad Bourbon.
Oh, not the Granddad.
What? Don't be talking shit about Old Granddad. I'll drop you from this right now.
Like, you know what though, Ben? Everybody knows about wine and $2 Chuck too. It doesn't make it right.
Old Granddad is 100 proof. It's about $20 a bottle. It's a great starter bourbon. Get those two just to get your whiskey legs under you.
This is you're giving
legs under you. Get some Crown Royal fucking cinnamon apple or
oh geez, don't get that flavored shit.
one. They're so delicious.
They put that flavoring in it to cover it up because it's nasty.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're talking about like the cheap bottom shelf bourbon where like high school kids can bilk it off of their parents and their parents don't even notice that it's gone.
It's like, down there with the bottom shelfers, but it's not a bottom shelf.
Like I remember I found a bottle of Old Granddad somewhere and I tried to get messed up with my friends and I tried to like throw it up to his second story window and it shattered all over the little awning over his laundry roof. It was like, well, there goes the Old Granddad and now we're out of liquor. So
and now we got to figure out how to replace it. Fuck.
You go look at a whiskey review for Old Granddad 100 proof. It's like 3 out of 5.
Yeah, 100 proof is one of those liquors where it's like it doesn't matter how bad it tastes because 2 shots will get you fucked up when you're just getting into liquor.
It's got a high rye count in it, so it is a little spicy, but it's okay.
So you get into those technicalities I'm just not familiar with yet.
Yeah, I mean every whiskey's got a mash bill. It's the percentage of the different type of grains that it uses. So like corn, wheat, or rye. Most of them are corn or rye. Some of them have wheat. To be a bourbon, you have to have 51% corn. A lot of your high rye whiskeys are gonna. Boy, we're getting into the whiskey podcast. Your high rye whiskeys are usually Canadian whiskeys, like your Crown Royals.
Okay.
Canadians love their rye whiskey for some reason.
All right.
But that Mellow Corn whiskey is something like 70% corn.
Really? Okay. So you're teaching me something here tonight.
All right, guys. I feel like this is a good point for me to jump back onto my own podcast.
Yeah. What'd you guys do to Nathan?
Dre, been a pleasure.
Thanks
Last
for
time,
having me, you guys. Love you. You're
Thanks.
welcome on my podcast anytime.
yeah, let us know.
Likewise, we'll have
Yeah.
to do some more crossovers later on.
Awesome. Gene, I'll talk to you soon, I hope. Maybe I'll see you next week.
Is that your Douglas County meeting or
Probably. I'll send you a message.
next week? What's next week? Yeah, please do.
Okay. Good night, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Good night.
Election night.
I hope they didn't kill Nathan. Last time he got loaned to a podcast, he wasn't that in Iowa?
Now, Ben, you're running tonight, technically, right? Aren't you?
Yeah, I'm unopposed, so unless I lose to write-ins somehow.
Okay.
Scuba
How's
Guy
your
says, is
stint on
anyone
the
going to
city
talk
council
about
then?
the election? Well, it's pretty much winding down here.
Okay.
Oh, that's Gary. That's my friend from Georgia. We've been talking about it. Hi, Gary. We've been talking about it for a while now. It's winding down right now. You have to realize that we're talking about like local Nebraska stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty much we're just going to be waiting on the shitty states to finish their counts. I mean, Pennsylvania, Michigan, they're all starting to lean Trump. So that's 20, 36, 46 electoral votes. That still does it currently. It says Biden has 209. And in Florida, I mean, it's going to be close. It's going to be like both of them are going to be within 10 points of each other of the 270 that they need.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a state that you focus on, like Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, or?
I mean, Pennsylvania is the big one here. If that goes Trump, I mean, geez, what if we had a friggin' tie? Could you imagine that?
Is that possible?
It's got to be in the Constitution to duel to the death.
Amendment 32, right?
Yeah, or at least like have like they can roll their fists in hot tar and broken glass and punch it out. In which case, Trump's got the weight and the reach advantage.
Till Friday to count the mail-in votes for Pennsylvania. Oh, Nathan's back. Let me get him in here. I'll drop
just
down
while
here
you're
to
talking
audio.
about, there's several counties where I could become in second place. Like in Blaine County right now, I'm 1 point behind Janicek. So 1 vote behind Janicek. 35-34.
Man, I gotta say, dude, seeing you at 6%, it brings a smile to my face. I've been looking at all the different state senate races in the country, and it looks like you have the highest percent total of any libertarian running for Senate in the country right now.
Nathan, I was getting worried.
Oh, I
was getting worried how long you were over there because
Well,
last
what?
time we loaned you to a podcast, you almost died
What? When did that happen?
in Iowa.
Oh yeah.
we
don't talk about Iowa.
Nathan, I just want to point out one fact that made this whole campaign just awesome for me was when I went on a couple of these betting websites, and I actually had a line on a website called Bovado, which is, my son said it's a big betting website. I was actually going off at 16-1. So when I saw that just like, wow, that is awesome for me. I'm carrying a line
you really
on some
made
of
it
these
when you're a
betting
betting
websites.
line.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was saying. That's
Did you
the
place a bet?
takeaway. No, I should have placed a bet. Yeah, that was. I don't know. It seemed kind of dirty to do that. I don't know. I felt like I was breaking some FEC law if I bet on myself. Well, Pete Rose got in trouble betting on himself. So
Yeah, that's because the MLB
I didn't
is
want
made
to
up
be
of.
the Pete.
That's because the MLB.
I didn't want to be the Pete Rose of politics. So
Have you been watching the Senate, Nathan? I should pull that up.
Okay, let me take a look at it real quick. It looks like the Republicans are holding a 45-42 lead in the Senate right now. And remember, a tie goes to the Republicans. So if the Republicans and Democrats tie, and and Donald Trump wins the White House, then the vice president is the president of the Senate and can hold a tie-breaking vote. But right now, it's looking like Republicans might hold on to the Senate. We'll see. Oh my goodness, Iowa's close. Teresa Greenfield is at 48.6, and Joni Ernst is at 48.5. Big oof. And they got Rick Stewart, the Libertarian, is at 2.1.
Oh, there's another race we're in trouble for.
Oh no! Get ready for the Rees. 2.1 in a 0.1% race. And here's the funny thing about it: there's an independent running, Suzanne Herzog, who's at 0.8. Looks like the Republican just took the lead. Joni Ernst just took a 0.3% lead in Iowa. How about that? Right before my very eyes, with 74%. 74% of the vote in.
That's the fourth race we've ruined.
Oh, we've ruined so many races. we need to keep that up.
Yeah, look at North Carolina for Senate race.
Oh no! 48.7 Republican, 47 Democrat, and 3.1 for the Libertarian. And here's the kicker about it: the Constitution Party also is a deal breaker here. They have 1.2%. So that's a thing. That is certainly a thing.
Looks like those two are the main spoiler ones right now. I'm looking around here on the map.
Like, what people don't understand is that Libertarians find duopoly tiers delicious. So
that's an independent in Idaho.
Oh, there's
hey Nathan, I have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
In McPherson County, I've taken second place, 19-12. I just want to point out. So
yes. Where's McPherson County?
Yeah, where is that?
It's like central-ish.
Yeah, those of us who live in the eastern part of the state, we only know like 3 counties.
I know where that's at then, but
like I know Douglas, Sarpy, and Lancaster. Everything else is just empty space.
Boy, only 280 people voted in that whole county.
And you got the second most out of it.
And I think I'm going to hold that second place lead. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I think I'm going to.
Why didn't you work harder? One county over, you're tied for second. What in the hell?
Yeah, what's up, Gene?
Why didn't you phone bank?
I don't know what my problem was.
Damn. No, I'm heading back over to the congressional races. And wouldn't you know it, Jeff Fortenberry has taken the lead over Kate Boltz. How about that?
Gene, look up in Cherry County. You're only 10 votes out of second. We need to send some mailers to the middle of the state.
You need to move out there. You're a celebrity out in these.
I know.
These
more breaking news in Rock County. In second place, 47-43. So more breaking news. Only here on Roads to Liberty.
Dude,
nowhere else is this breaking news. Nowhere else is this breaking news breaking.
Literally nowhere else. This is the only place. Dude, how many votes do you think you gained when Ben Sasse started talking shit about Trump?
Oh, I think I think that helped. I mean, no doubt it helped.
Yeah,
I just spent a weekend up in Cherry County. I guarantee it helped up there. That's big Trump country.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Dennis Grace is get 2.7%.
We should have photoshopped you like with Trump, like with his arm around you, and mailed it.
Yeah,
mailed it to these counties up here.
They would have believed it
You know,
too.
I had this, you know, Ben, you say that. I had this thought of sending an email to Trump saying, hey, endorse me. But I didn't think I didn't think the Libertarian Party would appreciate that too much. But
see, you're not.
I had that thought is, hey,
Yeah, but what's more important, impressing the Libertarian Party or winning the fucking election?
Yeah, no one cares what the
Yeah.
Libertarian Party thinks.
Yeah, like seriously, that's not a joke. Like the national level Libertarian Party can go suck it. As far as I'm concerned, they're awful, horrible people.
Hey, Hobbs, I'm looking at your race, and you're sitting at 3.5.
okay, now
Ooh, lordy.
Now think about that though. I mean, you know, on the state level, our registration rate's about 1%, and he's pulling at 3%, 3 times the state level. So
Right.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
And
all
the
Yeah,
fact is that like I found out that my wife was pregnant 2 weeks after I filed. The Rona hit a couple of weeks after I filed. I have done literally 0 campaigning other than shit posting on Facebook.
dude, Antifa.
I think I'm doing pretty good.
Dude, Antifa has done your campaigning for you.
Actually, the fact that so many people are voting for Mark Ellsworth just shows how screwed up our politics are.
What
Yeah, the fact
district is he running in?
Yeah, I think
He's running
that-
as
I
a
think
Democrat against Hobbs.
That, I think
Oh,
that
God.
people just saw a Democrat, not Mark Ellsworth.
Well, yeah, because if they'd ever met Mark Ellsworth, they wouldn't vote for him. Mark Ellsworth is a fucking lunatic.
He's got his one issue thing, and I've talked to him over the past few days. So like he's very, very, very singularly focused on marijuana legislation and everything. But he seems like a decent enough guy. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna-
dude is a nut. He's an absolute nut.
Well, we had a chat today. I sent him a message. I said, good luck today, and we had a little bit of a chat. I think that that Mark did more campaigning for me than I did. He held a few TV and radio stations saying that if you guys have a debate and I'm invited, but the Libertarian candidate is not invited, then I won't show up. So I think that was pretty cool on his
All right,
part.
here's the deal, and Gene is very familiar with Mark. We didn't really
Yes.
mistreat him when he was part of the Libertarian Party. This is getting into the weed stuff that listeners probably won't like, but I don't care. So we didn't really mistreat him when he's part of our party. So he doesn't really have anything bad to say about us.
no.
The Democrats have
I mean,
done him dirty.
Yeah. I mean, he was the one thing about Mark, he was, he had a lot of energy and he was kind of committed to helping and, he needed a little coaching, I'd say, but, he tried. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think he maybe smoked a little too much doobie in his life, but
Hell, I was I don't know what the official term is, co-accuser with Mark when he sued the governor of Nebraska.
yeah.
I
I mean, when he was with us, he worked hard. I mean, he tried. I mean, I don't be smart. I don't try to put anybody who runs for office is, Dustin and just putting your name down there. I have a lot of respect for that, and I think it's awesome that you did that. I mean, you don't know how much you're helping the party. And Ben too. I mean, I don't want to leave Ben out, obviously, but you guys. No, I mean, you guys you're doing a lot for the party just by putting your name down. I mean, I can't. I can't express that enough.
If I knew how much being an elected official was going to be middle management personnel bullshit, I don't, I don't know if I would have been as excited about it.
Well, should it be that way? I don't know. I mean, and I don't want to leave Nathan out. I mean, he was District 2 coordinator for a while, and I mean, all that stuff contributes to promoting the promoting the party, the concept of liberty. I mean, it's all additive. So now, Nathan has a family. He has to, he has to live life and deal with life. But all you guys are contributing to the process, and it's just. It's awesome. I mean, I'm so pumped about it. It's all good. And
after this election, nobody here in Nebraska politics will ever have to, worry about or think about Mark Elworth ever again. He talked to me today, and he's actually moving to Colorado. He said he got a nice paying job out there. And so he's not going to be involved in Nebraska politics after this year. So,
all right. Well,
I think he will enjoy his time in Colorado.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely, he will.
Definitely.
Looks like we stalled out for totals at this point. No changes for the last half hour. I guess people are just going to have to count those late votes.
Ben?
For president.
Oh.
Texas is still at 86% in. Trump is winning. I think this is going to be a shit show, and it's not going to be decided for a week.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, that's the shame about this whole election is all those mail-in votes being counted after the fact. We're not going to know the results of this for a while. But I feel pretty confident in saying that if Trump holds on to all of these swing states now, I mean, he could very well pull out a victory anyway. Because come on, look at the map right now. The swing states, he's winning Texas, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Iowa.
I mean, we could do some math here. Biden's sitting at 209, Trump's at 118 without counting these swings. So let's say, all right, let me get Windows calculator up here.
Well, let's just pull up a blank electoral map.
So I got one right here. Trump at 118. We're going to give him, let's say he wins Wisconsin, plus 10. What else do we got? Plus Michigan, plus 16. They haven't counted Texas yet for some reason, even though that's probably foregone. Plus 38. What are we saying? Ohio? Looks like he's got Ohio plus 18. Pennsylvania. What do you want to say on that one, Nathan?
I'm going to, looking at where it is right now, I'm saying that's Trump.
So plus 20. We're at 220. Plus Florida, plus 29. 249. Georgia, probably to Trump, plus 16. It's 265. North Carolina plus 15. That's 280. So I think you're onto something. I think it's done.
Yeah. But we also have to remember that there's a lot of absentee ballots and mail-in ballots.
Yeah, I think Pennsylvania is going to be the wild card.
They're going to contest it either way. There's been an awful lot, and this is me putting on my Alex Jones hat. There's been a lot of narrative framing in the past 2 or 3 months leading up to this, saying that we can't call it on election night. There's absolutely no way that we're going to be able to call it on election night. We're going to have to wait for the mail-in ballots. We're going to have to wait for the absentee ballots. Blah 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 blah. And they're going to try and drag this thing out as long as they possibly can in order to make the election seem to be as contested and contentious as possible, so that they can have all of their little neo-Bolshevik foot soldiers out in the streets doing all sorts of nasty, terrible things that they do.
So, Dustin, do you
I
think there's going to be
go ahead.
Go ahead, Ben.
Well, I think the Biden people really thought he was going to win Texas for some reason. Is that what you thought?
I think if you're counting on winning Texas as a Democrat, you're already too far gone.
Well,
To
they've
me.
been campaigning there like crazy, and they've just been talking about, it's going to be a blue wave. Texas is going to lead it.
Yeah, I think that's more best case scenario type deal than we're counting on it. I mean, I think they're counting on Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. I think that they're counting on those two states, because if they take Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, then the election's done. They win. But switching Texas, they would win, guaranteed. But I think that's more.
There's a lot of votes in Michigan yet. I'm just noticing around Detroit, so that could still swing over.
The Texas vote that they're counting on is they took a look at the 2016 vote. They took a look at the 2018 vote for the House of Representatives. They looked at how well people like Beto O'Rourke did in the primaries, and they're expecting the sort of the Hispanic voting bloc to turn out in Texas for Democrats that they traditionally expect to turn out for Democrats. And I think that not only the Trump campaign, but the Republicans in general have done a very good job of kind of turning that voting bloc around to their side of things, where it's like you legal Hispanics in this area don't want to be lumped in with the illegals. They make you look bad, and they've done a very good job of turning that around that way, I think.
All right, I'll say this: the Hispanic population around here is probably about 35%. The legal Hispanics are some of the nastiest people to keeping the illegal ones out that I ran into.
Yes, exactly. And I think that our friend Lonnie, he was being very tongue in cheek with it over there on the Fakertarians side of things.
Oh yeah, the Hispano-fascism thread.
Yeah, the Hispano-fascism thread.
What is that?
It's where the Puerto Rican master race takes over the world. That's what it is.
No, but he was saying that that the wall will be built by Mexican American citizens who are tired of having themselves lumped in with the illegals and are tired of it's like you guys skipped the line, so to speak, or it's like we immigrated the legal way, the right way, and you guys are making us all look bad type of thing.
Yeah, and I think, there's such a growing percentage of the population that even in California, they have some areas where Hispanics have the majority and they're on city councils and county commissions. And the black populations have no relief from them. They can't pull the racism card. They can't pull the reparations card. And the Hispanic populations, they don't give a shit.
Right, yeah, and there are large blocks of Hispanic Americans who are more nationalistic than racialistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be an interesting change.
America's second.
Yep. When they're a majority, it's going to be an interesting change.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I thought one of the biggest mistakes the Republicans have made is not embracing Latino populations. I mean, they're family oriented, they're Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
they're mostly employed at the risk of sounding racist. I don't understand why the GOP is not the go-to for them.
and that's just the thing. It's over the past 40 or 50 years, the Democrats have been banking on race
The
versus
Hispanic vote.
culture
Yep.
to appeal to the Hispanic voters, and now in the Trump years, they are turning more towards culture as opposed to race. They are culturally very conservative, and so they're turning away from the Democrat Party.
So are they do you think they're libertarian?
They could be.
Hispanics.
Yes.
I mean, maybe,
Nathan,
but
as our token Hispanic, what do you think?
if
Let's
I'm
go to our token. He's gonna earn his name right here.
okay, let's do this. I think younger Hispanic voters, maybe, not older ones. Older Hispanic, I'll use my own family as a prime example, right? And I think this is kind of indicative of a lot of Hispanic families because my parents grew up in Puerto Rico. That Spanish is both of their first languages, right? I don't even speak Spanish because I never lived in Puerto Rico and I've never been around enough Spanish people to pick it up. So I represent the more younger generation of first generation living in the states.
And that's a lot of the Hispanics around here. They don't speak it. Some of them do, but their parents did.
Yeah, their parents speak Spanish. Their parents came from the home country, and now they live in the United States. And now the younger generation is growing up in America, right? So my parents are 100% Republicans, right? My mom's always going to be a Republican because her only issue is abortion. She's pro-life all the way, and that's the only issue she cares about. So I don't think libertarians are ever going to.
Is she Catholic?
No. Both my parents grew up Catholic, but became Baptist when they moved to the States. But they did grow up Catholic, right? But say me and my brothers, one of my brothers, I think he leans more liberal. But one of my brothers is definitely libertarian along with me, and my sister leans libertarian too. So I think younger Hispanic voters can lean libertarian, but it's all a matter about getting them in our corner before they get sucked into the big red or blue tribe. Because once they're in the red or blue tribe, then people tend to stay there, right? Because politics is all about tribe. It's all tribalistic. You got to get them into your tribe before they get sucked into another person's tribe. But I think libertarians have a chance with younger Hispanic voters, but older Hispanic voters probably not. But they're probably going to stay wherever they're at.
Just a comment about what you're saying there, Nathan, is generally, I get the voter database from SOS, and the Libertarian Party is by far the youngest party compared to Republicans and Democrats. I mean, it's not even close. It's like Libertarians, the average age is 30, and the other two parties are 47. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Well, here's a problem with younger voters, and
they don't vote.
Well, and yeah,
they're not voters.
But they've had so much, and this is going off my kids, which are both teenagers. They've had so much social justice bullshit pushed on them their whole lives, and the system is social justice bullshit. They're going after people like Trump just because that's how you rebel. I mean, how do you rebel against all this progressive bullshit? Well, you're going to vote Trump because that's what they're against.
Right. And
or they register libertarian.
Well, my son actually was registered Republican. He ended up, I didn't pressure him or anything. He's like, whatever. So he ended up registering libertarian, and I don't know if he voted for Joe or Trump, but I know a lot of his friends were voting Trump just because, screw the system.
Yeah, I had this. Remember when a couple of weeks ago when we had that gal Stacy on my show? She said that her 13-year-old daughter is inculcated in the exact opposite direction, where it seems like when you're dealing with these young young kids that are like, 14, 15 on up into 18, 19, 20 years old, you really do get that massive pendulum swing where it's either they go like full blown warrior or full blown MAGA zoomer, and there really is no room in the middle for, like a libertarian party or an old.
Yeah, they're so ionized against each other. You're right.
Yeah.
It's one end or the other.
Yep.
I have breaking news.
Oh,
I don't know what this means, but my percentages keep going up. I'm up to 6.35%. So
Yeah.
37,000 votes. I don't know what that means. I started at 6.09 and it just keeps trending upward. So it's interesting. It's like as the Western counties start coming in, anyway, that's it. That's all I have.
well, we're a little
Not that
backwards out
breaking.
here. We're counting on our toes, and we don't have computers yet.
Abacus. We need an abacus.
I would like to point out again that in Indiana, Donald Rainwater has pulled in 12.5% of the vote in his governor's race over there, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Is that the libertarian? Is that a libertarian candidate?
That's the libertarian candidate
Oh, that's very impressive.
in a three-way race.
I'm surprised it's not more though. Like he was really like a national darling. Like I was seeing like national news outlets talking about how the libertarian dark horse is going to come and be a spoiler and whatnot.
People lose their nerve when they get in the voting booth.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
True
Okay,
story. Ooh, hey, my race went up a couple of tenths of a percentage
All
point.
right.
I'm up to 3.49% in my race. Yeah, Adrian Smith has like at the beginning of the night, Adrian was at about 65, and he's at 78.5 now. But I'm at 3.49.
Very
So
good.
I have-
That's honestly, Dustin, that's really, really good. I mean,
I wish it broke it
I
out.
see that.
The map I'm on doesn't break it out by county. Does the one you're on break it out by county?
Yeah, I'm on the SOS.
I'm at the Secretary of State's website.
Are you doing the same as Gene, or in the count like the middle Arthur, Cherry?
County level
So
results?
Let's see, Cherry looks like a cherry. Cherry is. Give me a second to get there.
It's a Valentine.
Cherry.
Yeah.
4.3%.
Yeah,
He's at 4.3% in Cherry County.
Yep, 4.3 in Cherry County. And that might be the highest one. Dakota County has 0% recording in right now.
Just saying some strategy here. Next time the state party might want to send some mailers to those areas just for shits and giggles.
You guys want to hear some ballot initiative results for Nebraska?
Yes.
Okay, so Amendment 1, which was to remove the slavery exemption.
Which
mean,
I saw that take when I saw that on my ballot. I'm like, what?
No, it's basically. I think that there's a proviso in the Constitution, like slavery is abolished except for punishment of a crime.
Yeah.
So they took out that, which I don't even understand that, because isn't that just making a prisoner work? That's what that sounds like to me.
All right.
It's
I
like
voted-
hard labor as punishment for a crime.
All right, I'm
So
gonna
that's-
go out on a limb here and admit that I voted against it, only because it punishes people in prison who want to get some money and work.
Yeah, but if they're being paid, it's not. Well, I guess it could still be slavery. But anyway, that passed 70%. Amendment 2, extend tax increment financing repayment period. That passed.
That's nerdy stuff. I voted against it. It passed.
That passed. It hasn't
as a city
officially
council,
passed,
as a city
but-
councilman, it lets me do shady shit. So whatever.
I mean, I just twirl your mustache, Ben. You're already doing shady shit. Look at that. Another one that I voted against, the cap payday loan rate, that passed with 84%. I wasn't a fan of that one, but allow racetrack gaming is passing with 65%, and enact racetrack gaming laws is passing with 65%.
Oh,
But the passing a tax on gaming is also passing. So taxes, boo.
yeah.
Gambling, yay. Taxes, boo.
Yeah, exactly. I voted for legalized gambling, and then they asked, "Do you want an unelected gambling commission?" I said, "No."
So is this the Ben Backus position? Slavery, yay. Gambling, yay. Taxes on gambling, no.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
shady shit from city councils, no. Also,
Imposing slavery by city.
Yeah,
What?
that the TIF one, basically all that is it means that we can, as a city council, you can give a corporation more money to encourage them to build in your city.
oh, that sounds shady.
Yeah.
So
Because it used to be you only give them 15 years of tax deductions. Now we can give them up to 20. So
You know what I love about that the original TIF was for blighted areas, and this one was for very blighted areas.
very blighted.
So
Council Bluffs
yes,
uses it.
so in Omaha,
Here, hold
they
up,
gave
team.
a
Hold up.
corporation.
I'm going to make something very
No, go ahead.
blighted. You ready? Poof.
Yeah.
It's very blighted. That's how it works.
Yeah. It's not just blighted, it's very blighted.
That's basically the process.
Yeah.
They just decide, poof, yeah, that's very blighted.
Hey, everybody! I'm gonna have to sign off and go to bed because
Yeah.
I gotta get up tomorrow.
I got
So-
work tomorrow too.
Yeah, I think everything's winding down. I think we're going to stretch it out a week, and Trump's probably going to win. That's my hot take. What's your guys' hot takes?
My hot take is that we're gonna have to wait and see. But just based on what I'm looking at right now, I am prepared to wake up to a whole lot of rees coming out.
I said it on Caleb's podcast the other day that Trump is going to win it. I don't see Biden overcoming the enthusiasm gap. I just don't see there's Trump voters and there's not Trump voters. There are no Biden voters.
Right.
At all. Nobody's enthusiastic.
Nobody's
about
excited
Biden.
about Biden. Come on.
Exactly. Nobody. There's a lot of people excited for Trump. There are some people excited for not Trump, but there are no Biden voters.
There was people excited for Hillary.
Yeah.
Really?
Biden,
There were? Did you ever
Yeah,
meet one?
The people in the pussy hats, remember them?
first whammon president.
The first woman ever?
No.
Come on, Nathan.
All the excited Hillary voters were just soy boy men trying to get in the pants of SJW women. They weren't actually excited for Hillary.
They're
Yep.
excited for the slaughter that she would bring about. But yeah,
Yep.
that's it. I guess to our listeners, if you're living in a major metropolitan area, enjoy your riots this weekend.
I'm glad I live out here amongst corn.
Nathan, like we said, no garbage to pick up for you.
Oh, no.
on Monday.
There's going to be a ton of garbage to pick up.
They're gonna burn it all.
Well, yeah, but then it has to get thrown away. So,
Well, at least it's in ash form, so it's lighter.
yeah, I guess so. It'll all fly out the truck.
Yeah.
Nathan is just going to be like driving around picking up 50% of the voting population in his area.
Dude,
But you're garbage, you're trash.
I'm looking forward to seeing all the political yard signs in people's trash cans tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. You're gonna have a shitload of those, huh?
Oh my God.
Hey, pro tip for anybody watching or listening, those yard signs, those corrugated plastic yard signs with the little wire stakes that go in your yard make goddamn great targets.
Oh shit.
They
Good
are
point.
fantastic.
Oh,
for
I'm gonna
that.
have to keep a couple for that. For
Keep
that purpose,
all of
then.
them. They are amazing.
Dude, save all those metal frames if you can. Those are like,
Yeah.
Why?
If
What do
you-
you do? What do you do with those?
well, if somebody
That's-
runs for office, they don't have to buy those metal frames. Are the most expensive part of those
Yeah,
signs.
that's the
If you're
expensive part.
Oh,
man.
so I should just go out to all the different polling places and just steal the metal frames from them.
Yeah.
if you're gonna run for office.
No,
Or
I'm just gonna steal them. I'm just gonna take them and keep them all in my garage.
Or just donate them to the LP for the next races that we have.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up there.
Bearded Liberty's still here. See you, Justin.
Oh yeah, Justin, thank you for coming in tonight. Yeah, sorry we didn't drag you back in, but like we got drunk and had had a good chat. Thank
Hobbs
you.
was basking in his success.
Yes, by 3.5%.
He is the
I'm gonna-
3.5%.
That's
Oh,
3.5. That's
You've heard of the
3.5% more than I
3%ers?
have.
You've heard of 3%ers? Hobbs
No,
is
it's-
3.5%.
No, it's 3.5. That's a whole 0.5% better.
He's getting a tattoo tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna rub it all over my skin.
All right, Gene. I don't know if you can hear us. You're on the phone.
Oh,
See ya.
Ben, you should probably plug our fine merchandise before we
Oh.
take off.
Right up here, we got on the sticky note roadcelebrity.com.
Let's drop Gene. Let's drop Gene, and 'cause he's on the phone. So yeah.
R2L merch. I'll throw some up. Gene, I got to drop you out of here to throw up our merch. Sorry about that.
He'll live. He'll forgive us. Bye, Gene.
He's still
Bye.
here in audio. He can still hear us.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Gene.
Gene, we're trying to sell stuff.
Yeah, we got to make money.
Maybe.
Yes, please. Give us money. We could use it.
It won't let me push our merch.
What?
I know, right?
Yeah, I couldn't start a watch party tonight because of my band thing that I got going on.
Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to interact with complex whatevers.
Yeah, or every something's like you are temporarily blocked from performing this action.
Don't worry, tomorrow you'll be allowed again. Because,
More
you
than
know.
likely.
Yeah. Well, anyway, here's our fantastic boogie shirt. You got Hawaiian Boog Lady. We got all these fantastic original designs that you can find at roads2liberty.com. Throw a few dollars our way, and we'll give you a shirt in return. That's capitalism, baby. That's what we're here for. We're all about the capitalism, fellas.
Supply and demand.
That's right. That's right. We supply the show. You supply the bucks and get a shirt in return, and we thank you very much for it. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for us. Hopefully by next week, when we do another Token and Hobbs show, we will know who the president of the United States is. And if not, enjoy the Civil War. Good night, everybody.